finals for you on Sky Sports this afternoon from the National Leagues 1 and 2. First up, it's National League 2, Sheffield Eagles against Keighley Cougars here at Widnes's Halton Stadium. And the Sheffield Eagles fans hoping that this will be their day. They know that in 3 meetings this year against Keighley, Sheffield have won each and every time. That's the scene in the tunnel here at the Halton Stadium. Mark Aston just going through the screen there, the Lance Todd winner for Sheffield Eagles at Wembley in 1998. Could be his last match as a player. What a day for him. And Keighley closest to the camera. Keighley's last appearance in any final was in the Trans-Pennine Cup final in 2001 when they lost 36-0 to Lee Centurions, who we will see later on in the National League 1 Grand Final. But they were in the Second Division Premiership final in 1995 when they beat Huddersfield 26-6 at Old Trafford. Let's check out the way the two teams will line up. As we look there, it's Sheffield on the right and Keighley on the left. And this is how Sheffield Eagles will line up. Andy Pointer is at full-back. Then it's Tony Weller, Richard Goddard, Tom O'Reilly and Greg Hurst at three-quarter line. Gavin Brown is alongside Mark Aston. And the forwards, Jack Howison, Gareth Stanley and Dale Lawton, who is the captain. He was due to be only on the bench today, but John Bruce failed a fitness test. Lawton was pushed into the side from the starting lineup, and he now will captain the team. Andy Riley, Craig Brown in the second row. It's Wayne Flynn at loose forward. And on the bench, Peter Riley, Simon Tillier, Nick Turnbull, who got the late call to replace Lawton, Mitchell Stringer, and the captain coach and player coach is Mark Aston. Now the men from Keighley, Matt Foster the full-back, Max Tomlinson, David Foster, James Rushforth, who's the skipper, and Andy Robinson. Paul Ashton alongside Matty Firth, scrum half. And the forwards, Phil Stevenson, Simeon Hoyle and Danny Eakes, Oliver Wilkes and Ian Sinfield. He's the brother of Kevin Sinfield, the Leeds captain, and Lee Patterson is the loose forward. And the substitutes here, Chris Wainwright, Richard Merville, Mick Durham and Jason Ramshaw. The coach is Gary Morby. Well, the teams will be presented to officials of the Rugby League. Richard Lewis is the executive chairman, and also with him is Tom Fleet, the president of the Rugby League, and the mayor of Halton is there as well, Councillor Ron Hignett. These are nervous times, gentlemen, aren't they, for the players? All the pre-match paraphernalia. Neil, you've been involved in this moment. All you want is just to get the whistle blown and the game going. Yeah, it's nice to have a bit of ceremonial sort of duties to carry out, but the players just want to get on with the game, and you know, it is a big game for all these teams. And just looking at the lineups there, as you've named them, there's a lot of experience in the Sheffield lineup. I don't see the same experience in the Keighley team. And you look at players like Richard Goddard, Tom O'Reilly, who's playing Super League last year with Warrington, Mark Aston and Dale Lawton. You know, I see a lot of experience in there, and I think that's going to serve them very well this afternoon. And yet a lot of people are believing that this will be Keighley's day. We shall see. We shall see. As you can see, the players are all psyched up for it on both sides. It is a major occasion in Rugby League. We're going to have the national anthem now, and after the anthem we'll hear from our commentary team. It will be Phil Clark, Steve-O, and for the first time on Sky Sports, Ben Pro.
Peter Taverner was awarded the National League Referee of the Year award on Tuesday night in the National League Awards. He takes charge of what should really be an explosive clash here at the Halton Stadium. These two sides couldn't be decided in the league table on points. It was only points difference that separated them, and I feel a little bit sorry for Darren Abrams' Chorley side, who won't be here today sadly, but Darren Abram, their coach, has the consolation, I suppose, of a Coach of the Year award on that same Tuesday award ceremony. Keighley, of course, done it the hard way getting into this grand final. They beat Hunslet 25-12 and Barrow 35-26, and Chorley 45-12 to be here. Sheffield, as minor premiers, just had the one game separating them and the National League 2 grand final. That was against Chorley, and they were beaten 31-14 in that qualifying semi-final. And Richard Goddard now about to get this game underway. Phil, do you think it was a good idea or it would be advantageous for Keighley that they played those games?
Well, they've taken great form into these games, as you've said. They've averaged over 35 points. Oh, that's a terrible start, though, for them. They've let the ball bounce. It was a good kick-off. He found the ground. And an awkward bounce, really, has passed two of the Keighley players. Danny Eakes is disappointed he didn't get to it eventually. It bounced behind Simeon Hall, and then he can trap it with his leg, and the worst possible start here now for the Cougars.
Danny Eakes, one of the younger members of this Keighley Cougars squad, and maybe a little bit of inexperience on the big day showing there. This, meanwhile, Jack Howison for Sheffield Eagles, but he's spilled the ball.
Well, he spilled it because of the aggression in the defence there. That was good tenacity. The Cougars knew they had to make up for their early error.
It was James Rushforth at the tackle, and nerves on both sides in these early stages. And now Oliver Wilkes for Keighley Cougars down that left-hand side. Gets to the halfway line. Immediately, Hoyle is there. Now Matty Firth. And Eakes again it is to get Keighley over halfway.
Well, Sheffield down for 12 men. Wayne Flynn injured, and he looks to be in trouble. Simeon Hall darts from the dummy half. Watch him to do that this afternoon. Danger whenever he does that for the Keighley Cougars.
Craig Brown to bring him down alongside Lawton. This now Phil Stevenson for Keighley Cougars, centre field. Enjoying the first real possession in this game, and Matty Firth puts a kick in. This will be a test to the Eagles' defence early on. It's been spilled, and Greg Hurst eventually tidies up.
Well, the referee said that it's come off the Max Tomlinson, the Keighley player. It's gone forward, and now will be a handover to Sheffield. But Keighley have successfully throughout the season managed to score tries from crossfield kicks to the corner. Both wingers, of course, scored last week, as did both props, which tells you that this Keighley side is strong in the middle and out wide.
Keighley having to do the defending now. Eakes on that occasion, and then it's Stanley who gets a ball away. It's a high tackle coming in there.
Yeah, there's the first penalty, a high shot on Dale Lawton. Both sides just glad with probably a lot of tension and nerves, although there is the experience out there. So whilst some of these players have played in a high pressurised game like this, the kick to touch now, tap pier penalty for Sheffield.
Oliver Wilkes, the guilty party, and this now Jack Howison over halfway for Sheffield Eagles, taken by his opposite number Phil Stevenson. This now Gavin Brown. They go to this left-hand side, and there is Craig Brown. Good tackle though coming in from David Foster, and Brown again. This time finds Dale Lawton for his first real run in this game. Stanley, Aston. This now Andy Raleigh. Can he get away? Good pace shown by Raleigh, but couldn't get through the tackle. And then it's Oliver Wilkes down there, I think, guilty of a little bit of holding down.
Well, two penalties in a row here now. Sheffield, they've probably got a decision. Do they kick for touch, or will they try and elect to take the 2-point option? Referee's not happy with that ball. He's kicked it off. Call for another one on, and Goddard has hold of it. You saw, though, in that passage of play there, how Sheffield really, with good long passes from Stanley at the dummy half onto Aston, really they will ask questions of the Keighley defenders wide out on the fringes, with both Raleigh and Brown, the second rows, causing trouble.
Oliver Wilkes, who conceded the penalty then, he's set to face New Zealand A side 3 times in Peter Rowe's National League 2 squad, and also makes the Cumbria and Scotland squads, and could be selected in all 3 games against the touring New Zealand A side. It's then Gavin Brown with his first attempt of the match. He's already racked up 34 points in 3 meetings with Keighley this year. This to get Sheffield Eagles ahead for the first time. The flags go up, and so Gavin Brown does indeed give Sheffield the lead. It's Sheffield 2, Keighley 0. Yet actually kicked the club record 13 goals in a 98-4 win over the London Scholars, and that in fact broke the 12-goal record of his coach Mark Aston and of Roy Rafferty. And he's got his first one this afternoon.
Pretty good play as well, Ben, in regards to the way that Mark Aston trying to get this ball really out wide. It's been raining for a couple of hours before the kick-up. I think everybody expected that it was going to be a pretty tight game in the forwards, but it's Sheffield. They've shown their tactics very early in the piece. They want to keep it alive.
Stanley then at acting half-back. Oh, and a great tackle there from Ian Sinfield. Well, he's in the grand final, Ian Sinfield, of course. Brother Kevin, not yet there in the Super League, but Ian Sinfield will want to show that there'll be, or will hope, I suppose, that there'll be 2 grand final winners come the end of this the end of this season. Good run though, coming in from Wayne Flynn. This now Lawton for Sheffield, but a great heavy tackle there coming in from Ekis alongside Hoyle there for Keighley Cougars. And Mark Aston forced to kick.
Yeah, and a good set there, Ben, from Sheffield. They've taken it up to the halfway line from a kick-off, and they've got to the kick, so they were pleased they've completed that set, although a little disappointed that they didn't close down Thomason rather quicker and have now conceded a penalty for a high tackle on him.
Well, he got through the tackle of Andy Raleigh and then copped a high one there, Max Tomlinson. And so Keighley will have another penalty and a chance to hit back almost immediately. This is Ekis.
Ooh, big hit there.
Huge hit there by Jack Howison, who looks very, very keyed up for this one. This now Ian Sinfield again. Can't get through the tackle of Tom O'Reilly though. This is the head-to-head, and this season Sheffield won all 3 meetings, 2 in the league and 1 in the cup. And that cup tie, they only won by 25 points to 24. It was a Richard Goddard drop goal that won it on that occasion. This is Matty Firth. Now Oliver Wilkes have got some space down that left-hand side. Richard Goddard closes that down though.
Again, we've seen both sides spreading the ball and looking dangerous. They punch it up now through the middle. That's Robinson.
Raleigh with the tackle. Goes back for Matt Firth. He's going to put a kick in towards the right-hand side. Looking to examine the defence, and this could be a try for Keighley. It's Matt Foster, the man who's put the ball down, but Peter Taberner is going to hand this one on to the video referee, Phil.
Well, we said earlier they love this option, 5th tackle play, kick out to the right wing, whether it's Tomlinson, Foster. They try and get as many guys as they can in the picture, close to where the ball's going to come down, and just hope that somebody can get near to it. It's a good kick, and there's discipline from the players. They all appear to be onside when the ball goes up. You see there the number of red jerseys, 4 or 5 Keighley shirts under it. They contest it. Foster eventually, I think, juggles it, catches it, and clearly puts it down. I think this will be the first try here, Ben. There's no he certainly contests for the ball. It's not as if he's just taken Greg Hurst out.
Little doubt in my mind as well, Phil, that Hurst touched the ball first and then it popped straight away. Regathers it. This will be TRY, no doubt in my mind. The first real chance that Keighley have had to apply the pressure. Surely they'll be rewarded with one.
Here comes the decision. And if the try is awarded for Keighley Cougars, so the first try of the game goes to Gary Morby's men. They've hit back in the best possible way following that Sheffield penalty, and it's Matt Foster with his 19th try of the season. Well, he made the National League 2 Dream Team, Matt Foster, at the expense of Andy Pointer. Pointer was full back, I beg your pardon. Matty Foster named at centre, and he showed by there, Phil.
Well, too much time there for Firth. Not enough pressure put onto him. It's a pinpoint accurate kick, isn't it? Just a metre or so short of the try line. And that is a textbook try from a kick there on the 5th tackle.
The big problem for Sheffield, though, Phil, is the fact that they had numbers there. You can see they were trying to protect rather than go for the football. It was only Greg Hurst that really wanted it. Probably shouted for it.
Paul Ashton then with his first attempt, and Paul Ashton succeeds with his first attempt. Well, he scored a sensational 69 points in the playoffs until that moment, made that 71, and he really is one of the reasons why this Keighley side is so useful in attack, Phil, and the kicking, of course, another element of that.
And must say that they are the tactics as well. I mentioned earlier, very wet here at the Halton Stadium. And it's not nice to be playing into a slight wind, and that's what the Sheffield Eagles will be doing in this first half.
Richard Goddard then restarts for the Eagles. It's a high one again, testing the handling skills of Hoyle, and Hoyle does well, gets the ball away for Ekis. High tackle possibly from Gareth Stanley there, it was all around his face. This is Tomlinson now though.
A good speed of the line there from Sheffield. They know got to do a better set here. They just can't allow Keighley to cheaply come out to their own half. They're going to make them work for it. Looking for a quick play of the ball though now.
Stevenson. And then it's now Sinfield under a heavy tackle again from Howison. I beg your pardon. That was Lee Patterson, I beg your pardon. This now Matty Firth.
Well, Sheffield done well there because Firth's one of the kick options and they closed him down on the fourth. They'll go to Ashton.
And the white boots of Ashton don't make touch. Good positional play there from Andy Pointer, the Sheffield Eagles full-back, and then Ashton quickly in there to make the tackle. Well, that was appreciated by the Keighley contingent underneath our commentary position.
What a collision there. Ashfield, Sinfield and the full-back Pointer just threw themselves at one another.
This O'Reilly, meanwhile, for Sheffield Eagles. Stevenson all over the top of him, but Sheffield really trying to get this quick play of the ball going. This is Richard Goddard. Oh, big hit there again, this time against James Rushforth, and the captain leading by example for Keighley Cougars there. Howison can't get through the tackle but manages to offload. It's a good run. Stevenson eventually gets to Andy Raleigh, but quick play the ball again, and Ashton has it on the last tackle. The ball holds up in the air, and they've coughed it up with Keighley Cougars. This Gareth Stanley, and there will be 6 to go, says Peter Taverner. So, huge test of this Keighley defence now. This is Andy Raleigh. Good tackle though, first up by his opposite number, Wilkes. Firth in there as well. It's going to come back this time for Dale Lawton. Good acceleration from Lawton. They keep him out though, Stevenson there. And now Aston again. They go deeper, this is Gavin Brown. Put it through the hands of Tom O'Reilly.
Well, that's pretty good attack and defence. There were several options there for going to it, but the Keighley defence read it well. Now Pointer has a run from acting half.
Good run from Pointer, that's the 4th tackle. So still a couple left for Sheffield. One of them gone now though, because Stanley is tackled just 5 metres short of that Keighley Cougars line. Gavin Brown again, long pass. Oh, and that was an opportunity there for Andy Raleigh. Well, he's put the ball down, and again, the official Peter Taverner is going to look for a second opinion here.
Well, when they played against Chorley just 2 weeks ago to qualify for this game, they put on exactly the same play. The ball goes across the front couple of men, finds the man, and he hopefully crashes over the line. There's some debate about whether this touches his hand before going over. If it doesn't, then I've no doubt it'll be awarded. Does it the hand? I think it is. I wouldn't award this try from that angle. We might see it yet again, Steve-O.
I think you've got it spot on. Just a little touch there with the fingers. The mere fact that he's actually trying to attempt to get to the football, that will give him away. I think there's a slight brush there, but they'll go frame by frame, and rightly so. It's an important decision. Well, maybe on that angle, it could prove to be a try. He's not convinced. He wants to have another look. I think he touches it there, though. Just shows you the difference, how different camera angle can just say A or nay, and I'm going to say nay on this occasion. No try.
Guys. Andy Raleigh waits, as we all do, and the try is denied by the video referee, Jerry Kershaw. Well, Andy Raleigh, the only Sheffield representative in Peter Rowe's National League 2 squad, and I know that upset a few people at the Don Valley Stadium, and Andy Raleigh obviously named in that side, Phil, but a couple of these Sheffield players as minor premiers with points to prove.
Yeah, missed opportunity there. Really, it's the simple things in rugby league, isn't it? Had the pass gone to him, he didn't have to dip to it. I've no doubt he would have scored because they put a couple of decoy options in. It confused the Keighley defence, and the gap was there for him. Just the execution of the pass let them down.
Keighley on the attack again then with Danny Ekis. Jack Howison there for Sheffield Eagles. Now Stevenson. Oh, big hit on Stevenson there, coming in from Dale Lawton. And Firth tries to kick Keighley Cougars out of trouble. Hits the arms there of Tony Weller and just recovers his footing. Ball went backwards, of course, and James Rushforth immediately there alongside Andy Robinson. They've got him into touch as well. Well, that's a great defensive effort there.
Well, that is superb. It's incidents like that that tend to win your grand finals. That's exactly what Keighley will hope for here now. The enthusiasm first I was going to touch on the chase was superb, and then the desire to hold him up, lift him up, and then look to get him over the sideline. They do that. Once you've got a player in the airbed, it's very easy to take him where you want him to go, and that is what Keighley did. Took him over the sideline, and they've won possession inside the Sheffield half.
That'll be the one thing that the coach, Gary Moore, will be very, very pleased about. It was a shaky start. Remember, they made a mistake from the kick-off, but they've slowly but surely settled things down, and the defence is quite superb by the Cougars.
And James Rushforth, as you saw there, a sub against Brisbane in that World Club Championship of '97. So he's used to big pressure games. Keighley then on the attack from that scrum. Paul Ashton can't get through the tackle though of Wayne Flynn. Important tackle as well around his boots there. This now Lee Patterson. Another penalty.
Well, the players couldn't get back onside, could they? It was a quick play, the ball from the scrum, and Ashton was tackled. And I think now that knowing Ashton's goal-kicking prowess, he'll fancy chances of kicking at goal.
Pretty poor play there by Sheffield. They knew they'd taken that short attack on the blind side at Keighley, and they were very slow, and you could see on the replay that 4 to 5 were stood in front of the official, and this, as Phil Clark has just mentioned, that should be not too hard for the fella.
Keighley Cougars fans enjoying things so far. Paul Ashton successful with his first attempt. Had been kicking poorly up to the playoffs until coach Gary Morby, you see there, told him to ditch the silver boots that he was wearing, replaced them with a pair of white boots, and since then, as I say, has been in sensational kicking form. So as you see the white boots there.
Still, guys, still.
And now Paul Ashton with this penalty. He's got it through the post as well. And so Keighley Cougars go out to an 8 points to 2 lead. Ashton successful with his second kick off the game. And Phil, there's been a lot of Sheffield pressure, but Keighley, well, whenever they've had the chance to put points on the board, they've done just that, haven't they?
Yeah, they have, and I think Keighley will be quite happy, more happy with the two sides at the moment. Sheffield don't need to panic though. They've shown in stages really when they've moved the ball around, there are spaces and opportunities for them. They've probably just not had enough possession, conceded a couple of penalties that have not helped them really. Self-inflicted ones too at that. Well, they have been very good at times this season. It's from kickoffs. With the first one, it caused problems. We've also seen them put some tremendous height on the kicks, get great hang time, and even get 1 or 2 blue jerseys underneath it by the time it lands.
Again, it's Goddard with the restart. It's over to the Keighley right-hand side where Ian Sinfield picks up. No thought of a pass. Sinfield just wants to charge this ball back, and Howison is the wall that stops him. Now Tomlinson cuts in field, but Lawton is there for Sheffield, drags him back as well, does Dale Lawton. And so Tomlinson away this time. Stanley, more good tackling out. Sheffield really in the faces of these Keighley attacks, and Stevenson plays it now for Firth. Wilkes tries to get the pass away. Well, got a slight ricochet there, but the referee allows the tackle count to continue. This is Patterson.
Yeah, they've gone to the 5th, so it's pretty obvious they're going to kick it here. Can they get some pressure on the kickers? It looks like Firth on the left.
Well, Matty Firth thought about the kick and then tried to throw the dummy, and the kick comes in. It's not the greatest effort from him, and Andy Pointer picks up.
No players offside when Firth did. Well, they were in two minds, weren't they? Were they going to run it? Did he want to kick? The Sheffield defence came up quickly, closed him down, elected to run it. The problem was some of his players were in front of him by this time, and Hoyle couldn't go for the ball. He was in front, eventually penalised.
Good refereeing as well there by Peter Taberner. He called out to the league players that they were in front, and they took no notice of him. Had no option but to give the penalty.
Blood bin called by Peter Taberner. Just sends It's Jack Howison, I think, who has been sent to the blood bin. Eagle-eyed official there.
It might not be a bad thing, you know. They'll probably bring on Mitchell Stringer. He's only 19, but boy, can he make an impact when he comes onto the field.
Well, Mitchell Stringer, as you say, Phil, one of the most impressive performers this year, only 19 and already a Young Player of the Year nominee. Stanley, meanwhile, for Sheffield, gets the ball away for Andy Raleigh. 10 metres short now, the Eagles. Stanley again, good run from deep there from Lee Patterson. Stopped well though. It's confirmation of that change as Mark Aston gets Sheffield again to within 8 metres. It's Wilkes with the tackle. Now Dale Lawton just 5 metres short, but that's the last tackle for Sheffield Eagles. What will Gareth Stanley do? He finds Aston. Kick perhaps. Oh, it could have been an interception for a moment there, but it's going to be back to 1 for Sheffield. So another examination of this Keighley Cougars defence. It's Mitchell Stringer, the substitute. Strong run from Stringer. Well, we said to watch for his impact, and already he's proving that in the first minute since his introduction. Gavin Brown, meanwhile, on the bounce.
Held well by Sinfield. That was an important tackle.
It was. There was almost an overlap on that Sheffield left-hand side there. This Stringer again. Stevenson claws him to the ground.
Well, I was going to say a big hit from Sinfield, but it was a high one according to the referee.
Spot on as well. Right over the top. The intention was there. And I think knowing Mark Aston, he'll just slow things down a little bit and say, let's take the 2 on offer. Or will they go for the tap? But I think they'll go for the goal.
Ian Sinfield, you saw there, as an Oldham player, he missed their 2001 NFP Grand Final appearance against Widnes. So he will be desperate, obviously playing, but he will be desperate to emerge successful today. And Gavin Brown, as you said, Phil, is going to go for the 2 points.
Yeah, I think it's been a great opening quarter to this game. Good speed and intensity to it, Steve-O, and really we said, obviously, these sides only separated by points difference at the end of the season. This will be a close match, as we've seen in the opening stages.
Well, you know, the experience there, we just saw a glimpse of Mark Aston guiding things out there, although Dale Lawton, the experienced prop forward, is the skipper out on the field of play. But this is an important kick.
Gavin Brown to put the deficit to 4 points, and he's done that. So Sheffield just claw some ground back on the Keighley Cougars. Gavin Brown with his second successful kick.
But then again, Ben, you've got to look at the fact that this Keighley defence has been pretty solid. They've thrown everything at them. The Sheffield Eagles, they've tried to probe, get the ball out wide, but the sliding defence from the Cougars has been very effective. You'll notice that they played very tight midfield, arc around and force Sheffield down the middle.
Ball just falls off the tee for Paul Ashton, who will restart for Keighley, and it's high again in these conditions, and it's Brown who takes it, and O'Reilly is underneath the tackle of Ekis. The Keighley defence lying in wait there. Oliver Wilkes with a good tackle there.
Well, Sheffield's dominance this season has been based similar to Bradford's. It's on power, it's on go forward. And this is the test here now Keighley have got. When you start to tire after 20 minutes, you see there's the time that Sheffield has spent in their opponent's half is basically because they've got bigger guys who've got better go forward. Keighley somehow have to combat that.
Aston finds Goddard on that Sheffield right-hand side. Goddard plays it quickly as well. Stringer missed out, and so Aston takes charge. It's another kick, testing Tomlinson there. In fact, it's a great take by James Rushforth. It was going towards the wing of Tomlinson. Rushforth just took charge there, and in the right place, and no mistakes under that high bomb. Tomlinson brought to ground by O'Reilly.
Well, I was just going to say, but it appeared in the last couple of minutes that Sheffield had lifted their aggression, lifted their intensity in defence, but they've done it too much there, and they've conceded a penalty. Really does kill you when you concede a penalty. Teams talk about piggybacking their opponents out to that danger zone. It's so much easier to take the ball forward when you're 30-40 metres from your own try line than when you're so close to it.
Stevenson taking the ball forward now for Keighley.
Take it again, Simmer. Let's take it again. Take it again. Ball.
Oh, there's a punctured ball
Well, we thought the players were getting the battering, but the ball's had one as well, Ben.
So just a breather for the players, I suppose. Welcome. It's been an intense 20, almost 21 minutes.
Good footwork from Stevenson. See how he just stepped through the first man, little jink.
This now, it's one of the substitutes there. Richard Merville for Keighley Cougars. His first action after 20 minutes or so. That might be a tactical change. And this now Patterson. Heavy tackle again from Wayne Flynn, but the ball's come out.
Great offload.
Another great offload there from Simeon Hoyle. Well, Keighley, you mentioned, Bill, that Sheffield like to go up with their forwards. Keighley, their style is to throw the ball around a bit, and they're doing just that now. Paul Ashton, so close. Craig Brown just claws him down and had to as well. That was another important tackle. Merville moves into acting halfback. This is Mick Durham to get Keighley within 5 metres now. Goes back for Matty Firth. He's going to try a drop goal, and that just skews off the right boot there.
Well, he's given it.
Oh, look from where we were, well, from that angle.
It got over, no doubt about it. Doesn't matter how it does that. And at first I thought there was kicking the ball that had lost all the air earlier, because
I thought it was like the drop kick you once made, Stephen, in your career. It went off and hit the corner flag.
Yeah, a long time ago that one, Phil, but I must say it's an important factor. I think everybody realises that. I think it's one of the great attacking ploys. No doubt that Gary Morby, the coach, has got the message to this fella. Quite a talent, isn't he, Matt Firth?
And he
got opportunity.
He also notched a drop goal in a 23-22 win at Victory Park against Chorley.
Well, if you remember back to these guys played in the Challenge Cup back at the start of the season, Sheffield won on that occasion 25-24. So both of these two teams do like a drop goal and know how important they can be.
How important could that drop goal from Matty Firth be? 9-4 the difference now. And James Rushforth takes it up for Keighley Cougars. Simeon Hoyle now with good pace from the acting halfback position. Lawton was there. It just signs Hoyle was getting a roll on there. This now Patterson. 3 around him. Trying to prevent the offload. Did it that on that occasion. And now it goes back for Paul Ashton to kick, as the rain begins to come down a little bit heavier here at the Holton Stadium.
Well, a confusing kick to me there, but these players were 5 or 10 metres behind the kicker, maybe expecting the ball was going to come to them. They couldn't really put any pressure on the catcher by the time he took it. And maybe want a little more distance on that. You really ideally want your players your opponents picking the ball up in the in-goal area if at all possible, not 20 or 30 metres from the line.
Again, Sheffield Eagles, who are content to play one out rugby league, and Stanley gives it to Aston, who drills a kick behind the Keighley defence. Andy Robinson brings it back though. He's cut inside, well beaten the first man. That was Aston, who was following up his own kick. So can't get through the tackle of Lawton now.
Very good kick return from the winger Robinson. And all of a sudden, look, good. Hoyle goes from dummy half.
Great break from Simeon Hoyle. He's got options to the right and left. But great tackle coming in from Andy Pointer. It had to be as well, even though Keighley's still deep, or just over halfway now. Ashton, quick play the ball. Matty Firth on the bounce. Brings in Sinfield. Is that Patterson? It's Rushforth, in fact, I beg your pardon. And Rushforth goes down 35 metres from the Sheffield Eagles line. Now Patterson again. Can't get through the tackle of Lawton. Slower play the ball this time, and Firth finds Ashton again. Elected to take the tackle himself. That came in from Craig Brown. And it's David Foster who will move into acting halfback here. Away for Firth. Outside of the boot this time.
Well read by O'Reilly though, wasn't it?
Great positional play there from the Papua New Guinean. And O'Reilly, experienced head in this Sheffield lineup.
Well, Keighley, they'll certainly be sapping the energy of the Sheffield side, because they're moving the ball around so much. They're making the guys in the blue jerseys have to work hard in defence. And now it's the test when you get the ball back and you're breathing heavily. Who wants to put their hand up and say, look, I'll take it forward? Stringer does that. There's a few more to go with him though. One out rugby, you need some support play.
He was looking for an offload, I think, there, Stringer, as Howison and Reilly come on for Sheffield.
Kicking earlier in the tackle count there, Sheffield now on the 4th tackle. Rain pouring down here now at the Elton Stadium. Despite that, the completion rates, both sides, very few handling errors.
This is Oliver Wilkes for Keighley Cougars. Howison stops him. And now it's Mick Durham. This time Wayne Flint with the tackle. And Hoyle gets it away, this time for Merville. Howison again in there, and good tackling as well from Andy Raleigh there around the legs. And Matty Firth away for Sinfield. That's the last tackle for Keighley Cougars on the halfway line. I'll go back for Matty Firth. He's going to go for the touchline on this near side. And Greg Hurst chasing that back. He's back in field now, and the Keighley Cougars defence had moved up well there. And they want to keep Sheffield Eagles in their own half, but this is a great run there from Andy Pointer, the centre of the field. Real speed merchant, Andy Pointer, and this now Tom O'Reilly, taken by his opposite number, James Rushforth.
Well, both sides have shown that they've got wingers and 3/4 and full-backs who are prepared to get in there, run from dummy half. As we get into the last sort of 10 minutes of this half, and there's a couple of minutes before that, there'll be more chances around that ruck area, and I think that's where both sides will look to hit, in behind the play of the ball.
Howison hit the midriff there of the Hoyle, and this now Peter Reilly for Sheffield.
Oh, he did well offload really, didn't he, to Stanley, but the kick went through.
He's played both half-back roles, Peter Reilly, for Sheffield Eagles, as David Foster takes the ball forward now for Keighley Cougars.
Steve, if you ignore the scoreboard, who would you feel will be in front at the moment?
I think I expected this at the Cougars, because it's been the fortnight before the Sheffield side has actually played. They're a little bit ring rusty. We expected that. And of course, Keighley have shown their determination to offload, and they're also working on their left-hand side. They're pinpointing the Sheffield's right defence.
And enjoying the better of possession in this first half as well, Keighley Cougars. And it's they who are in possession now in the shape of Mick Durham. 8 metres short of the halfway line. Wanted a quick play of the ball as well. This is Matt Firth again, kicking on the last tackle. Again, it's over the head there of Greg Hurst.
That's one of the best kicks they've made, isn't it? Now then, the last time they trapped Sheffield down here, Pointer ran 20-30 metres to get him out of trouble. Can he do it again?
Well, they need something like that, Sheffield Eagles, but this is committed tackling from Keighley Cougars. This time it's Richard Merville and alongside Simeon Hoyle. Yeah, he's been a standout for me, Simeon Hoyle. His work rate is in there again, doubling up. Those Keighley fans will have appreciated the work rate of their hooker, and Matty Firth and Ian Sinfield, who make the tackle there. This time it's Brown to kick Sheffield out of trouble. It could be a 40-20 this, but doesn't get the angle right, Gavin Brown.
It's been a frenetic start, and I suppose that both sides will prepare for a few seconds with the ball to go to play here, just to catch their breath. Really has the ball been in play a tremendous amount of time. They've kept it alive.
Gavin Brown with plenty of Super League experience, and of the two sides, it's Sheffield who do have the more experienced 17 players on the field. Oliver Wilkes now though for Keighley Cougars. Simeon Hoyle finds James Rushforth. Rushforth can't get through the tackle though of Andy Raleigh. It's now Richard Merville. Finds some good angles, Richard Merville.
There, Stanley.
There is Mark Aston. He is taking a breather. Wants to go out on a high so much, Mark Aston, after such an illustrious career. This now Mick Durham for Keighley Cougars though.
Just get the feeling, Ben, that these Keighley halfbacks, Ashton and Matt Firth, they're controlling things out there.
That's the last tackle. It's a kick from Ashton. Oh, and that's a great take there. Under some pressure, it was Tony Weller who took that ball exceptionally well there.
I bet the Sheffield back three are getting a bit bored of having to take the ball from near their own line, wingers and fullback, whenever they get it. There's not been a lot of fun involved, has there? There's guys chasing down at you, the ball's coming from a grey sky and there's rain all around.
It's been impressive, Phil, the way that the kick and chase has come from the Cougars. They really are up for it. You've just got to make that point, though. Can they last at this pace for the full 80?
Well, no side wanting to tire at this stage. Sheffield do look very, very good, and maybe, as we've said, there's a benefit in playing on a regular basis throughout the weeks.
Certainly been a frenetic pace, and Sheffield again forced to kick so that Keighley get possession over their 20-metre line. Max Tomlinson it is, and Andy Raleigh can't put him down. Eventually it's Goddard who makes the tackle, and Keighley coming forward again. Real drive about these Keighley players. Decided not to stay overnight, Keighley Cougars. Sheffield Eagles preferred the overnight stay. Keighley Cougars travelled down this morning, and they certainly look more prepared for this on the first 31 minutes here.
Rare handling error there, the first time now for a while that they've not completed the set and they've not kicked it deep. So Sheffield will be pretty happy here now. For the first time in a long time, they're going to have possession inside the Keighley half.
And Gareth Stanley gets the pass away, this time for Howison. Howison again offloads back for Stanley, and this Peter really back on the inside comes Richard Goddard. Good tackle though from Sinfield, and this Keighley defence being examined for the first time really in a while in this game. It's Stanley again. This is Gavin Brown, puts a kick along the deck this time, and great positional sense from James Rushforth there.
Wonderful pick up by Foster, the fullback. Or rather, sorry, it is Rushforth. Very similar at times, the look of those.
Well, he was in an excellent position there, and in these conditions, not an easy thing to be able to pick up a ball like this.
I think the big test now for both sets of players is patience, isn't it? They're both doing well up until that point.
Well, Max Tomlinson has knocked on for Keighley Cougars, and this really will be a stiff test now of their defence. Sheffield will have the put into this scrum.
Bad mistake there by the winger, and you can see that both sides are getting fatigued. It really has been an attractive game. I've enjoyed it.
Really from the base of the scrum. Durham is there for Keighley Cougars now. Back this time for Reilly again. He's got Gavin Brown alongside him. They swing the ball out to the right-hand side. Richard Goddard dragged to the ground. A good tackle as well, coming in from the Keighley fullback Matt Foster. Sheffield again inching towards that line. This now Andy Raleigh. He will play it just 5 metres short. Gavin Brown. What will they produce here? Peter Reilly. And Reilly tries to go himself. Great tackle from Patterson. Had to be as well. David Foster in there as well. Quick play the ball, and Tom O'Reilly tries to get the ball away.
Well, I don't know if he tried to get the ball away, or was it the impact of the tackle?
I think he was reaching out and trying to get the ball down, and it just got it was a lazy arm that came across and just jolted it away. Disappointment for the player coach Mark Aston, but at least Sheffield now are gaining in confidence, and they're confident to spin the ball out wide. They were doing that early in the game, and they were making good yard progress. The problem was that when Keighley went in for that try, it sort of rocked their rhythm a little bit, and now I just get the impression that Sheffield are getting well and truly into this match.
Keighley though in possession. It's a terrible pass though by Simeon Hoyle, picked up retreating there by Matt Foster, and well, he had to tidy up quickly there. This is Oliver Wilkes. His opposite number, Andy Raleigh, gets a tackle in.
I think the Sheffield fans might be thinking that that's 2 missed opportunities when they've got close to the Keighley line. A couple of occasions not being able to just grab hold of it and crash over the line, and it's all about taking your opportunities in the grand final.
Saw that this morning in a tight, tense affair in Australia, and now it's Keighley in possession on the last tackle now, and Paul Ashton spirals a kick over towards this near side. Easy for Sheffield to deal with though, and it's Greg Hurst who brings the ball back, and Sheffield can start this set 35 metres from their own line. It's now Tony Weller.
They do seem to be appearing the stronger side in the closing stages of this first half, Sheffield. I know they've had some good possession.
It's Raleigh, I beg your pardon, who goes down there, and this is Stringer, big hit there. Stringer and Ramshaw who's come on. Well, Jason Ramshaw, just talk about him in a minute, because Tom O'Reilly, again, in a good attacking situation, not able to profit from that situation. Well,
we saw Jason Ramshaw, didn't we? Just come on, I think Keighley feel as though they probably just need a lift in the closing stages here. He is a legend really at the Keighley club.
Well, a lot of the talk pre-match has been about Mark Aston bowing out on a high. Well, Jason Ramshaw will have just as much incentive to bow out on a high for his own ends. He's a Keighley Hall of Fame, actually in their Hall of Fame at Cougar Park, and he would love to crown 12 seasons at Keighley with victory today. Here he is in possession. Not the best of passes though, and on the bounce it's Robinson who brings it back. This now is Mick Durham taking on Stringer. And it's Peter really in there as well. I beg your pardon, Stanley. But Keighley on the last tackle, centre field. It's with Durham. It's going to go back for Ashton. He could try a drop goal. No, he's going to go to the air, and that's a disappointing kick there from Paul Ashton. Another drop goal specialist. That won't please Gary Morby, his coach.
No, the worst kick that Keighley have made, isn't it, in the game so far. Had a player, I think maybe one or two players even offside. We've said that Sheffield have looked strong in the last few minutes. You know, the last time they played was it in August. The Keighley side were winning at half-time quite comfortably, but Sheffield won the second half by 20 points to 0. So that is a big question mark, isn't it, over the Keighley club? Have they got the strength, the endurance, the stamina to last a full 80 against Sheffield?
Well, Sheffield will want to put some points on the board before the half-time. This is the last opportunity to do that, but it's a forward pass. The long pass out to that right-hand side.
They're probably tempted, aren't they, by the fact they can see some space, some opportunity out there, Ben. On a number of occasions, there's been some gaps. Getting the ball there, though, is harder than what it actually appears, doesn't it, when you're watching on television? You've got the sliding defence. They've now put the... Matt Foster's gone out to play in the left centre with Rushforth predominantly at full-back.
There is Rushforth in attack for Keighley Cougars. Craig Brown gets to him. Will Keighley finish the half with possession? Ian Sinfield, good strong run from him. O'Reilly gets the tackle in alongside Brown. And now Matt Firth. He picks out Richard Merville. Merville goes to ground, but he's knocked the ball on. Well, Richard Merville, it looked that Keighley were going to have possession up until the end, but well, I suppose if you are going to cough up possession like that, Phil, better to do it 25 metres well from the Sheffield post.
You don't want to do it at any point, do you? But I suppose it is very, very slippery out there now. There were 3 players around him, and both sides have done remarkably well to hang on to it so well.
Great tackle from David Foster there, and another one there on Tom O'Reilly. Well, he's certainly fired up for this, is David Foster. He's already featured in a grand final on Sky. That was Leeds, 4 Leeds against Wigan in the '98 Academy grand final. Scored a try that day. So the big occasion holds no fears for him. Wayne Flynn with a good run though for Sheffield Eagles. And this is going to be Mitchell Stringer. Always a handful, Stringer. And the ball comes out. It's a knock-on.
He loves to offload Mitchell Stringer, but sometimes he may be better just hanging on to the ball, desperate to just find it, pop it out the back. He's trying to say that Keighley players knocked it backwards and it should have been play on.
Well, Mark Aston knows that that will be the last chance that Sheffield will have to attack in this first half. Keighley Cougars will have possession, and they've only got 3 seconds. And Ramshaw will kick on the first tackle. Good play from the veteran there. And Tony Weller is herring after this. He will take the ball into touch. And that will be the last action of this first half. Well, Gary Morby will be the happier coach at half-time. Howard Cartwright and Mark Aston having a few words, a few things to put right after the break. Well, Sheffield took the lead on 4 minutes when Gavin Brown, successful penalty, only for Keighley to come back into it. 6 points to 2. Matt Foster with the try, Paul Ashton with a goal, and then extended their lead through another penalty from Ashton. Gavin Brown's penalty goal on 19 minutes put Sheffield, or narrowed that deficit, only for Matt Firth's drop goal on 23 to give us a scoreline at half-time here at the Holton Stadium of Sheffield Eagles 4, Keighley Cougars 9.
What a great first half, and Keighley, well, they've weathered the storm, haven't they, in every sense of the word, because it is absolutely hosing down with rain here at the Holton Stadium just now. But it's Keighley who at the moment have got 1 foot in the National League Division 1 next year. Terrific first half.
England in Turkey, live only on Sky Sports in association with Hyundai, part of an international double next Saturday.
Love, you said you'd deal with this credit card balance. It's sort of scary.
Yeah. We hardly even notice it anymore, do we?
A balance you leave hanging around can become a pain. Get a rate that starts low and stays low by transferring your balance when you take out a Capital One no-hassle Platinum card.
Bite this, Vampy. I've transferred to Capital One.
What's in your wallet?
When you take out an open plan mortgage, you also qualify for a borrowing rate of just 4.5%. Ideal if you want to make other important purchases. Call into your local Barclays or visit openplan.co.uk.
Cabin fever. Catch it.
I'm not vain, just beautiful. Magnum Vanity, limited edition white chocolate and champagne ripple. The last of the Magnum 7 Deadly Sins from Wolves.
You're going to love this. The Great British Roast. This is a special bit of beef, been matured for 21 days. Makes it extra tender, extra juicy. I mean, look at the marbling in that. To mix the vegetables up, even you can do that, mate. Meat on top helps your uncle.
New from the Taste the Difference range at Sainsbury's, 21-day matured beef. It tastes so good, you'll want to tell everyone.
You got to taste that. Best bit of beef I've had in ages. Tell you what, mate, a few more babysitting sessions, and you could be nearly as good. Charming.
Ah, freedom. Freedom of speech, and to listen to any advice you like. But do you find it hard to know who to listen to? That's where, whoever you are, one call to FreeServe's package advice line comes in. So, if you think you could be in a better place right now, or you can't decide which way to go, we'll make sure you get the right internet package, because as the UK's #1, we're here to make you smile. Free phone 0800 747474 for advice.
Equilibrium, own it on DVD from Monday.
So, Colin?
Well, Jim, they've beaten everybody in the tournament already. I think England will win this World Cup. England will win the World Cup.
Touch wood, we're gonna win! Get your 76-page guide to the Rugby World Cup with The Guardian tomorrow.
Live Speedway coming up tomorrow night. It's action from the playoff final second leg as Poole take on Coventry, and it's from 7:30 Sky Sports 2. It's grand final day for the National Leagues. National League 2 kicking us off, Sheffield and Keighley. And Keighley ahead at half-time by 9 points to 4, and well worth their half-time lead. Here are the statistics, and both teams are working very, very hard indeed. I suppose the completion rate could be better, but the weather will be contributing to that. And Andy Raleigh of Sheffield, he's the game's top tackler so far. 22 tackles for him personally. Fantastic effort. So Keighley just ahead, but only by 5 points. This grand final is competitive, isn't it? Competitive in the extreme, and these two sides are proving that there really is life outside the Super League. It's a fantastic advert for the National League 2. Neil Kelly and Peter Rowe are here. Steve-O has made his way down from the gantry as well, having enjoyed that first half, I'm sure. Peter, you said at the start that your heart was on your sleeve. You were hoping for Keighley to win. They're doing very well.
Yeah, they've been the best side in the first half. I think they'll be a bit disappointed that they didn't score a couple more tries with all the pressure and territorial advantage they've had. And that would be a positive thing for Mark Aston to talk about, to say we've coped with the pressure, we've tackled very well, there's more to come from us, let's go from here. Keighley might be a little bit more negative, and Gary Moorby, the coach, will be probably a bit frustrated because of all the possession and position they've had. But the division has been very tight, and the final today really typifies the way the division has been all season.
Absolutely, and when you think all the pressure that Sheffield have had, Neil, I just wonder whether Keighley have got the puff in them really to hold on.
Yeah, I think Keighley started off like a house on fire, and there's been a lot of nervous energy expended in that first half, and you do start to wonder whether the fatigue might be a factor later on. Maybe we saw it a little bit towards in that last 10 minutes before half-time. One or two unforced errors, one or two uncharacteristic errors. Maybe the conditions have a part to play in that as well. But I think Mark Aston's got a big job to play now at half-time in getting his players. They are 5 points down, but he's got to make the players believe that they can go out, cut that deficit down, get in front. The elements again will play a part in that, and kicking games. Keighley have had a lot of pressure. I agree with Peter. I think Simeon Hoyle and Firth at the half-back have really dominated the ruck area. And Sheffield, to get anything out of this game, have got to stop that and get control in that area themselves.
Maybe Mark Aston will be an important cog, but Kevin Sinfield, he was involved in that titanic struggle at Odsal last night for the Leeds Rhinos. He's here to watch his brother Ian, who's in the second row for the Keighley Cougars, sharing a cup of coffee by the looks of things at half-time. So great to see Kevin Sinfield here supporting his brother. Steve-O, I got the impression from the comments of you in that first half you've enjoyed this.
Yeah, I thought it was great. It was a shaky start, wasn't it, by Keighley? They made a mistake on the kick-off, and they did well to dig deep, and they did fully deserve to take the lead as well early in this game. Good high kick from Firth. Sheffield, though, they should have had a little bit more going for this one. At least they tried to get to it, but they had the numbers there. Good work from Foster. Juggled it, no doubt about it. Jerry Kershaw, the video referee, absolutely spot on, as he was with this one, which was the no try. One of the few times that we've seen Gavin Brown get himself involved in this first half. We didn't expect more from him. Raleigh denied, no try, and then something that I always enjoy, I often call for it, I think it's a wonderful opportunity, and it was Matt Firth that took it. Okay, it wasn't the best looking one, but they all count. That was a one-pointer. And then, as the guys have said, that Sheffield slowly and surely getting back into this match just before the interval. Tom O'Reilly just had the ball dislodged from him. It was just a loose arm from a Keighley player. It could have been all so different, couldn't it? But I posed the question about 10 minutes before the half-time. Can Keighley, having played over the last 3 weeks, can they last for the full 80 minutes?
It was a bit of a blow for Sheffield in the first half when Mark Aston and Dale Lawton both left the field at the same time, and it really has given Matt Firth all the inspiration he needs, Peter, to take control of this match.
Matt Firth is probably one of the two best half-backs in the division. He's not an individual player, he plays for the team, he creates play, he pushes the team around the field. He's also got a very, very good kicking game. And we saw with the Keighley try that the kicking game was used to full efficiency. His kicks on the floor have been good. He's turned the Sheffield defence around. And as the ground gets wetter, the rain pours down, the kicking game for me is going to be really significant in the way the game's going to go.
Well, Neil Kelly, you have won 2 of these grand finals. What does it take now for Sheffield?
Well, the 5 points lead is not a winning lead, I wouldn't have thought at this stage. And like I said, Mark, Howard Cartwright, I've got to be in there, got to impressing on the players that, you know, if they do the right thing, whenever they have had field position, they've got over the line. Obviously, we've just seen Tom O'Reilly knock on and Andrew Riley get over and have the try disallowed on the video ref. So there's enough encouragement in there to say they're going to score points. They just need to get to that end of the field, and that's where, you know, those scoring opportunities came after Keighley had turned the ball over very early in the tackle count, not completed, not got to the Sheffield try line. And what they've got to be learning there is if they turn the ball over for Sheffield, Sheffield can get across the line. They've just got to put the ball down when they get there.
No doubt about it. The grand final in National League 2 is up for the winning in the second half. A 5-point lead is nothing in the modern game. And it's good to see that Carl Harrison is here. He told us on Boots and All on Wednesday evening, the coach of the Salford City Reds in the National League 1 grand final still to come, that he would be here early to cheer his former club on, he hoped, to victory. Carl Harrison, a former Keighley Cougars coach, but he's in charge of the Salford City Reds, whose match against Lee will follow this. You'll have to follow us also to Sky Sports 2 for that, but stick with us here for the second half of Sheffield and Keighley.
If the future's sorted, you can afford to live a little. Clerical Medical. Plan for tomorrow, live for today.
So that was 3 nights with breakfast?
Yes.
Okay. And anything from the minibar?
Yeah, a bottle of wine.
And you made 3 calls?
Yes.
And 1 movie. Okay. Did you watch the sunset from the pool?
Yes, we did. It was fantastic.
Okay. Sunset.
Holidays can be expensive. To help ease the pain, we now fly to the US from as low as £249.
Would you like these staples?
We are united.
A Grand Slam in the UK. A Grand Slam in France. A Grand Slam in Australia. Another Grand Slam, brought to you by Kia.
Introducing O2 Home. From the only network that knows when you're home. Now you can use your Pay and Go mobile from home from just 2p a minute. Could this mean the end of your landline? See what you can do. O2.
If you're thinking of moving your mortgage, you could well be hit by all sorts of fees. Legal fees, valuation fee, mortgage arrangement fee. Well, the Alliance and Leicester Fee Saver Mortgage takes care of all these costs for you. So, you can move your mortgage to them for free. And with a discount of 1.8% off their standard variable rate for 2 years, it all adds up to a great remortgage deal. Call Alliance and Leicester today on 0845 300 1616 and move your mortgage for free. Now that's got to be worth a call. Call Alliance and Leicester on 0845 300 1616.
If your windscreen isn't replaced properly, you won't even notice a difference. Until it's too late. At Autoglass, we fit windscreens knowing they could save your life in an accident. Autoglass. We fit safety as standard.
The road awaits with the promise of adventure.
Let's go, let's go!
Stretching out to new horizons. You choose where it takes you. Take the high road to glory. Set foot on foreign fields.
He does it!
Explore the limits of your nerve.
You know who I am?
Find comfort in strangers. You never know what's round the corner. October on Sky. Enjoy the view.
More live football coming up today on Sky Sports. From 3 o'clock it's Premiership action as Aston Villa take on Bolton. And from 7:30 it's live La Liga in Spain as Barcelona face Valencia. And both of those matches are live on Sky Sports 1. This is the grand final of the National League 2 and Sheffield Eagles 4, Keighley Cougars 9 at half-time. The only try of the match from Matt Foster, the Keighley full-back, in the first half. And the Keighley fans hoping and praying that they will be lifting the trophy at the end of the next 40 minutes. Teams are back on the field. Let's rejoin our commentary team led by Ben Pro.
Thanks, Eddie. Sheffield then just losing out in that first half, but they'll take some comfort from the fact that Keighley led Sheffield 10 points to 2 at half-time in their latest clash. That was in August. And they ended up losing that game by 22 points to 10, so this game far from over as Paul Ashton restarts for Keighley Cougars. It's Gavin Brown who takes it for Sheffield Eagles, finds Tom O'Reilly. He charges the ball back towards Stevenson, who comes in with a good tackle. Sinfield there as well. This now is Dale Lawton, put to ground again by Stevenson, who really has been outstanding in defence for Keighley so far. Howison this time for Sheffield Eagles.
Those are 3 good runs, aren't they, from Sheffield? They're almost up to the halfway line. In fact, they're going to be over it in 4 tackles, and that is a positive start to the second half from the Eagles.
So Patterson gets them over halfway, and Peter really kicks. Again, great kick there from Peter, really. Well, he was just off target with a couple in the first half, but that will please Mark Aston. Put real pressure on this Keighley defence early on, and Peter really, well, already a lot of experience. He's already starred on Sky in several Castleford Academy matches, and although he couldn't make the first team there, got a new lease of life at Sheffield Eagles. James Rushforth brings the ball back from the base of that scrum. Ashton in at acting halfback, and Tom O'Reilly gets to him quickly. Little shoulder in there as well.
Well, if Sheffield spoke about a few things at half-time, I'm sure one of them was field position in slippy conditions. You want to play as much of the game as you can, close to your opponent's try line, and I suppose in the first minute of this second half, you achieved that as an objective. That was the ball, and they got a good kick in.
That was a big hit there between the youngster Danny Eakins and the veteran Dale Lawton. 11 years between them, but well, there was no quarter asked, no quarter given there. The kick comes in on the last tackle, and Tony Weller picks up for Sheffield, cuts inside, and Jason Ramshaw and Phil Stevenson effect the tackle really quickly in. Now Andy Pointer.
He's a dangerous runner of the ball, and you can get into some space, Andy Pointer.
And this now is Craig Brown for Sheffield. Gets them to the halfway line. Again, going for these drives forward. Howison it is this time. And Keighley, well, as the match goes on, will surely tire after some of this punishment they're taking. It's now Patterson attacking down the right-hand side this time for the Eagles. It's really in at dummy half. Andy Raleigh now against Ramshaw, and Ramshaw comes up with a good tackle, but Sheffield only 20 metres short now of those Keighley posts. Centre field, it's going to be a kick from Gavin Brown, who goes to the air, testing Tomlinson. Well, Tomlinson and Rushforth almost in each other's way there.
Well, he got kneed badly in the back, didn't he, as the kick came down, and he's injured. He's over the back of the dead ball line. It's Tom Riley. I don't think he did it intentionally, but he has caught Tomlinson, and he does seem to be in some pain. Couldn't get there in time for the kick.
Seemed to dive into the back of him there a little bit there, Steve-O.
Certainly did, but I also thought that Peter Taverner, the referee, was fully aware that a couple of the Sheffield players was in front of the kicker. Able to say he's quite happy to give the 20 tap.
Let's find out what's happened in the dressing rooms at half-time. Rod?
Well, Ben, understandably, Keighley coach Gary Morby wants his side to continue as they were playing in the first half. Delighted with the completion rate, up at 80%. His side are defending well. The last thing he said before the team went out was to stay patient and not to force things. On the other side of the fence, Mark Aston needs his side to improve. He wants better field position and more possession. Their kicking game hasn't been good enough. He wants that to improve, and he's worried there's been too much one-out football. He wants his side to go forward in more numbers and put some pressure on this Keighley defence.
Well, Peter Riley already put in a very good kick this half since those wise words from Mark Aston, but Keighley on the attack now as Aston resumes his seat for this second half. Firth with a kick again, goes to the air, testing pointer, and Tomlinson immediately in there with a good tackle there on the Sheffield fullback, who plays it quickly. There's a little knock on.
Well, fumble at acting half-back, wasn't it? But he's got away with it. I don't think he did drop the ball.
It was Robinson, well, did brilliantly to just have the presence of mind to pick it up again before it hit the deck, and so Sheffield can continue this movement forward. Stanley finds Lawton. It's got Stevenson, though, drives into the legs of Dale Lawton, turns him on his back as well, and that's a great tackle there. This now is Jack Howison. Gets Simfield over the back of him, but they're trying to slow Sheffield down a little bit. That's the last tackle for the Eagles, and so Gavin Brown kicks. Rushforth has taken a more full back roll, but it goes instead for Tomlinson. Oh, that's a terrible mistake from Max Tomlinson.
Well, whether it's fatigue or what, he was up at the other end contesting a kick. He's finished the set and had to go back. I think he was hoping as the kick went along that it would roll on and roll over the dead ball line. He's faced his own line, he's knocked on in his in-goal area, he's turned around. He could have maybe continued to face the dead ball line and pick it up facing that way. As it is now, the first big tackle. The players here now, Keighley, have got to say, listen, it's 6 tackles. You're probably only going to make 1 each year, Ben. Between the 13 of you, players sometimes panic when they have to do a goal line dropout.
Spot on there, Clarkey. A winger going backwards should always make sure that if you're going to pick the ball up, that you have your back to the opposition. If you do fumble, it will automatically go back and play on.
And look how annoyed Gary Morby was in that replay a few moments ago. Peter Reilly now for Sheffield, trying to profit from that mistake. Howison goes down under the tackle now. It's Richard Goddard on an angled run. Ramshaw all round his legs though, but Sheffield just 8 metres short. It's Peter Riley gets the ball. Oh, it's Riley now. And this now is Tony Weller. So close there, Weller. That's the last tackle for Sheffield. It comes back for Gavin Brown. He's going to put a kick all along the deck. And James Rushforth just happy to shuttle that ball dead. And this will be a dropout for the Sheffield Eagles, who really, Phil, since the break, are exerting some pressure on this Keighley line, aren't they?
Well, they've had a fantastic 6 minutes to start the second half. It's a good kick in there. He knew he probably wouldn't get to it. He wasn't too bothered. He thought, hey, we'll have another 6 tackles and we're going to run it you hard again. See whether you've got the energy, the brains, the intelligence and the organisation to prevent us from getting over your line.
That was a problem with Sheffield in the first half. They didn't get any double sets, but they certainly have now. Can they turn them into points? He's lost that.
Can't believe it. Well, that could be a very expensive mistake for Sheffield.
Well, it's to play the ball really that was the problem, more than the acting halfback.
It was Jack Howison with the mistake, included alongside Oliver Wilkes. Jack Howison in Billy McGinty's Scotland squad for the European Nations Cup. So opponents today, but teammates then. High tackle there from Reilly, but the referee is happy with it, and so Keighley can continue forward. Good tackling though coming in from Wayne Flynn for Sheffield. Danny Eakes.
He's played well, he's playing against guys far bigger than him. They've been pulled back for a forward pass.
Another mistake this time from Keighley. Well, Max Tomlinson with an error a few moments ago, and this time it's a forward pass with very little pressure.
It's one of my pet subjects about that in the game. We don't have enough people running and hitting the ball at the advantage line. When anybody gets close to doing it, it's always pulled back for a forward pass. I know if the ball travels forward, we can't play on with that. But to me, all those line balls always seem to be pulled back for forward passes. We're trying to encourage players to hit the ball on the advantage line, and then we pull them back for doing it.
Yeah, I think you just held on to it a little bit. I'm in agreement with you on certain things on that, Phil. The only problem that I do, and I can't understand in our game, is why we don't stand a little bit deeper to come into it. Far too much flat football.
Sheffield Eagles have tackles in the bank. Craig Brown goes down on the latest one. Now Gavin Brown finds Tom O'Reilly, and O'Reilly gets Sheffield to within 11 metres now of that Keighley Cougars line, centre field. Gavin Brown, Peter Reilly, and Reilly brings in Goddard. Good angle run from Richard Goddard. This could be dangerous, and all hands to the pump in defence there. Ian Sinfield with a good tackle for Keighley Cougars. This now, though, is Dale Lawton. Can he get through just on the last tackle? This will be the last opportunity for Sheffield in this sequence. Stanley quick play the ball. Gavin Brown's got hold. It's Tom O'Reilly, and O'Reilly has scored for Sheffield Eagles. Referee right on the spot and gives the try. So Sheffield Eagles had to come back into this game, trailing 9 points to 4. Tom O'Reilly, the Papua New Guinean international, has done just that, and Sheffield Eagles are right back in this game, Phil.
Well, with the quality that Sheffield have in the squad, sooner or later attacking the opponent's line, somebody was going to crash over it. It was great work by Gavin Brown here. If you look, he looks inside, shows it inside, just takes the time and space and creates that little gap for O'Reilly to find, pops a soft pass to him, and it's a very simple try here now for O'Reilly, just to hit the hole and crash over the line, getting Sheffield right back into the match.
I certainly was said that there had to be more attacking ploys from Gavin Brown, and he's certainly come up trumps there. The little dummy, as Phil said, back on the inside was sufficient to make the Keighley defence just hesitate. And when Tom O'Reilly came on at speed, that's the point I was making early. Come on to it from a deeper angle. You won't be picked up for a forward pass, and he's been rewarded with a 4-pointer.
Gavin Brown tags on the extras as well, and so Sheffield Eagles now retake the lead here at the Holton Stadium. The try from Tom O'Reilly converted by Gavin Brown, and Tom O'Reilly, well, this is a very happy hunting ground for him. Played here for Wales, one of those 4 World Cup games in 2000, and continues his favouritism for the Holton Stadium. Ashton restarts then for Keighley.
The bigger worry, Ben, rather than just the try they've conceded, is the power really that they're unable to handle with this Sheffield side. Again, from the kick-off, they've got over the 20-metre line, and they're coming forward. Sheffield in the middle of the field, Keighley don't seem to be able to handle them in the middle of the field at the moment.
Also Tom O'Reilly's 4th try in successive matches. Sheffield want more, and it's Dale Lawton, and now Jack Howison. Great ball around the corner there for Andy Pointer. Pointer tackle just short of the halfway line. Peter Reilly now, he kicks on the 4th tackle, and that's straight down the throat really of Andy Robinson, who just beats the first defender. And look at that possession for Sheffield in this second half. Well, over 3/4 of the possession, and they've turned that possession into points as well.
Well, not surprising they've come up with a try when you have that sort of play, is it? People know if they get the ball, maybe they win a penalty or something. They just need a repeated set somehow. Ekis is trying against bigger guys to take them forward, and Hoyle darts from dummy half. They need those metres, maybe against a bigger pack. Quick scoots, quick runs from that acting half-back position might be their better ploy to go forward.
This is Matty Firth, gives the ball some air, and then the kick comes in. Good positional sense though from Andy Pointer. Does well as well. He's injured is Matt Foster. And this now Tony Weller though for Sheffield Eagles. You see the kick coming in. Great positional sense from Pointer. Andy Raleigh now for Sheffield.
You can hear the referee in the background saying to the Cougars, come on, work. He's trying to get them to get back on side. I think if they talked amongst themselves, they'd say, hey, come on, let's go forward. They've got to take that speed of the line up to try and stop Sheffield from coming forward.
Tom O'Reilly in attack again now. And now Craig Brown. Taken by 3. Sheffield got the bit between their teeth now, you feel. And Stanley finds Gavin Brown again. Kick spirals centre field where James Rushforth waits. Gives him the full-back role there.
Give Hoyle and Ramshaw a pat on the back there. They put pressure on Brown. It wasn't a great kick. The full-back was able to take it on the full. And all of a sudden, Keighley now looking a bit better when you get away from your own line. It's all about pressure on your kicker. They did that well on Brown. Ekis again with another run.
Taken by Goddard on this occasion, but Ekis showing his great form this season. Played for the National League under-21s, Danny Ekis, against the Super League counterparts earlier this year. And Ian Sinfield now for Keighley Cougars. Good tackle though, driving him back by Gavin Brown, all around the legs. And it's David Foster who moves into acting halfback. Now Paul Ashton, away for Oliver Wilkes, who kicked. In fact, it was Firth, I beg your pardon, who kicked. And sends Tony Weller racing back towards his own line. Rushforth immediately there. And that was good defence coming in from Rushforth.
Brilliant kick, wasn't it, from Firth? He went out 2 passes wide. It meant that some of the Sheffield defenders had to come forward. He could draw them into the kick. Great length on that kick.
And it looks like Mark Aston is going to come into the fray, and he knows he just has to steady the ship down. The experience certainly will tell. He knows he's got the 1 point in front, and he knows how important it is now just to keep this roll on, make sure the kick and chase is solid, but most of all, do not come up with a mistake.
Mitchell Stringer on as well for Sheffield. It's Peter Reilly who comes in with a kick. Would have been a 40-20, the angle not right at all for him, but James Rushforth still has problems dealing with that ball going towards his own post, and it's Stringer alongside Wayne Flynn, and the referee didn't like that tackle. Well, unnecessary there really, Phil.
Well, it's easy to criticise from here, but you know, when you're out there, he's hit him hard, he's driven him. They want to take him backwards, but they put the hand between the leg, and that is illegal. That technique has been pulled up, and a relieving penalty here, I feel, for Keighley.
Well, they could have got away with it if they'd just released the man. The mere fact that they put him onto his back indicated that it could have been a dangerous tackle. Good refereeing by Peter Taverner, I must say, and I don't often say it, but this guy with a whistle has impressed me today.
Mitchell Stringer, as you saw there, the runner-up in the running for the National League 2 Young Player of the Year. That award went to Danny Brough, York City Knights. This is Ramshaw for Keighley Cougars. Now it's Ekis. All over the top of him is Stringer. So enthusiastic, Mitchell Stringer. And now it's Matt Firth. Just a stretch for Paul Ashton, but they put it through their hands well there. And it's Oliver Wilkes, and he manages to offload as well. And Firth is there, ducks under a tackle. And Keighley again trying to play an expansive game, even though they trail by just a point on the scoreboard.
This is where Keighley had to just mix their attacking ploy, maybe a little chip over the top.
Good kick on the last though from Ashton, all on the ground, and Sheffield have to pick that ball up on their own line. It's Greg Hurst.
Sat up kindly for him, didn't it, though? He was lucky. Good kick from Ashton. You never know with a rugby league ball where it will bounce, and went in his favour.
Ashton does indeed. Ashton, I beg your pardon, takes his part in proceedings. Gareth Stanley, the man replaced. And they want the quick play of the ball, Sheffield, and Ashton on that occasion.
Well, it looks as though he's come on in a sort of acting halfback, maybe a hooker role.
Certainly wants to be involved, but that's not... Well, fired a pass. Gavin Brown couldn't take that ball in. Frustration showing on his face.
But you see that quite a lot, don't you, in rugby league? When it's a first pass, it's simple. The player has time. They drop the ball. When there's a player running up, sprinting at his face, they can take it and pass it on without a problem.
It's an amazing fact that professionals, never mind juniors, quite often just have a little glance and that split second and bring about their downfall. Certainly did on that occasion.
Little run around between Ashton and Ramshaw brings in James Rushforth. Now it's Ramshaw again. Good ball to this left-hand side. Finds his fullback, Matt Foster. Keighley think they can profit by throwing the ball around a little bit. Danny Ekis this time. Jack Howison gets to him. Simeon Hoyle. Now Matt Firth, Paul Ashton through the dummy then, collected himself, but it was Gavin Brown who was wise to what he was trying to do there, Paul Ashton. Back for Stevenson. Stevenson, oh, great ball from Stevenson.
Oh, what a shame.
Simeon Hoyle is passed for the try, but it's going to be no try at all because it's a forward pass. Looked.
He's got it right as the official as well. But what a lovely build-up by the Cougars.
I know you can't award it if it's forward, but it's such a shame because no player on the field has worked harder than Simeon Hoyle today. And there's only one there in the Keighley side who's prepared to support the ball carrier.
He's impressed me. He certainly has, Phil, and as you say, his work rate is superb. And again, the man with the whistle He was in a great position.
This is Richard Goddard for Sheffield Eagles. Matt Foster with a good tackle alongside Ekis. Hunting in pairs there, Keighley Cougars. This now Tony Weller. And again, two men in the tackle. Ekis does so much work. Stringer, so does he. Ramshaw round his leg. Stevenson up above.
It's given a knock on. Stringer's pointed at the Keighley Cougars, says no, Ramshaw interfered.
Well, Peter Taberner definitely made his mind up, and well, there didn't seem to be a lot of interference from that angle.
No. They've not completed. They've not done what they wanted to do. And Keighley maybe just getting a few excited in the last 5 or 10 minutes. Got a good sniff at the Sheffield line, and they'll get another one here now as Firth comes about 35 metres from the try line.
Aston did pack into that scrum at hooker, and did replace Peter Reilly, who would normally play in that position. So maybe that will be his role in the second half of this game. Ekis meanwhile over Keighley, and he's knocked on this time, trying to force a pass.
Well, Stringer went
to
in.
Stevenson.
Yeah, Stringer went in, and he sort of went with his right hand. He pulls it up, doesn't he? Something comes up. I don't know if it was the ball. He's got one back his way.
Got away with it, that is for sure. But quick thinking there. 3 men converging. It would have been difficult for the official to see it. I'm just about to make the point, Ben, that Keighley building in confidence. The one thing that they wanted to do was to just keep their composure, keep kicking that little ball into the in-goal area, and they failed to do that, and they could pay the price.
Well, Sheffield in just 2 tackles over their own 40-metre line, so Simon Tillier takes it up for the Eagles now. Been allowed to escape into the danger part of the field. Great ball from Wayne Flynn.
Well, he gave himself up there.
He did, didn't he?
Through the dummy. I think if he continued on, it's no good looking at the man that went through.
The problem was they had too many options, didn't they? They've outnumbered them by about 3 to 1 here, and well, was not sure who's to take it.
Watch him give himself up. He didn't have to come that way. He could have just stopped and gone around the outside. There was no real shepherd in that.
So that swings the pendulum Keighley's way. It's now Ashton. Good tackle though coming in, this time from Andy Raleigh. Hoyle. This is Oliver Wilkes, taken by Lee Patterson, taken by Wayne Flynn, I beg your pardon. And this is now Ramshaw. Firth, back for Rushford. Aston lying in wait, got the tackle in alongside Stringer. Keighley trailed by 1, remember Ashton is there, a drop goal specialist, goes to Ramshaw instead, and Ramshaw puts a kick along the ground, and Andy Pointer safely there for Sheffield Eagles.
Well, coaches want to build pressure and players want to put pressure on their opponents. That's, I suppose, what Keighley are doing. They're putting the ball down on the floor, but Sheffield have been able to handle it. Pointer just a bit slow getting up after taking that ball, stretching his calf.
Well, that was a high shot there.
Danny Ekis, the man responsible, and there's another marginal one from Oliver Wilkes, and this time the penalty is awarded to Sheffield Eagles. A little bit of indiscipline there from Oliver Wilkes.
Well, I made the point, Ben, that the one thing that Keighley could not afford to do was to give up a good field position. They've done that now, and now they're going to be the team on the rack. Now there's problems in back play. Sheffield down to 12 at the moment. Can't quite see who it is that's receiving treatment down there.
And they point to the full-back with a calf. It's a poor offload option there, really, from Stringer.
And so Keighley pick up possession again. This is Hoyle, away this time for Richard Merville, who crosses the halfway line for the Cougars. Now it's Patterson. Big hit there by Craig Brown.
I get the feeling this tension is now taking its toll on both sides. With only 1 point between it, oh, they're forcing the pass when they don't really need to.
Well, Merville's pass couldn't be taken there by Hoyle, and so a 0 tackle for Andy Pointer.
And Firth now penalised for interfering. He didn't allow Pointer to get up and play the ball. Just feel that one of these sides has got to crack sooner or later. This penalty should really give Sheffield an opportunity to test, although that's a poor kick, I think, from Mark Aston. I've seen him kick the ball a lot further than that in the past.
To be fair, Phil, I think he was just quite happy to make sure that it went over the whitewash. He knows now, he's got enough experience to say, let's drive it there. They don't have to do anything fancy. Just drive forward, utilise the kick, and try to get consecutive sets of 6.
Good opportunity this for Sheffield Eagles. Peter Reilly has the ball. Tries to go himself, Peter Reilly, but Hoyle gets round his legs just in time. Goddard, quick, play the ball. Aston moving in ominously into the dummy half position. This now is Wayne Flynn. That's the last tackle though for Sheffield. And Aston will find Gavin Brown. Brown go away for Tom O'Reilly. And O'Reilly forced to take the handover, and that was good defence, Phil, from Keighley.
Yeah, Keighley read it very well, didn't they? They didn't panic, they just waited for the ball carrier to select his option, and they read it very, very well. They handle the pressure on the line, and Thomason's run it back well. Foster there, that should really be a penalty. I couldn't see Craig Brown stood straight. They've not won it, but they've still got some ground.
Peter Taverner there alongside the Sheffield defensive line.
I must say, Phil, that it surprised me, the experience of Mark Aston there. He went into dummy half position, passed the ball to Gavin Brown. They really should have gone for the option of the kick. They should have been forcing Keighley right down in their own quarter.
Aston seems content to allow Brown to run the show, doesn't he, at that stage in the field.
Good work down this left-hand side, though, from Keighley Cougars. It's Andy Robinson, plays it for Wilkes. Now Ramshaw, away for Firth. Firth puts a kick in, over towards that right-hand side. Max Tomlinson is there, but safe hands there for Sheffield Eagles.
Well, 3 dangerous kicks from Keighley, and Sheffield have handled all 3 of them. Pointer's quick, though. He's returned it there now at fullback. The kicking game of the Keighley side has been very good. Sooner or later, they're going to benefit again from that.
Great work there by Greg Hurst in defence. So Sheffield in attack now. And Oliver Wilkes with some good work to keep them in their own 30-metre area. Andy Raleigh it was who was tackled. Now Stringer taken by opposite number Ramshaw, but 3 in there for Keighley. How long can they keep this defensive effort up? Gavin Brown, another good kick, turning Max Tomlinson around.
He's done it again. Ooh, turn around, hasn't it, to see where the players were. He's juggled the ball, handled it safely though this time. Yet now less than 15 minutes left in this game. There's a try coming soon, Ben. I am the world's worst tipster when it comes to this sport of rugby league, but I do feel that somewhere in the next few minutes there'll be a break and a try.
This is Merville for Keighley Cougars. All about who will cope with the pressure most. This now Patterson, taken by Brown. This is Firth. Just a little kick over the top. He's got 2 runners. Ashton is there, but great positional play, not for the first time this afternoon by Andy Pointer. Matt Firth gets down his legs quickly, but Pointer did really well there. Now Goddard. Goddard taking on Foster. Can't get any further progress. Tackles in the back for Sheffield again. Now Stringer. Taken by Ramshaw. Aston. Now Richard Merville. Simon Tilley, I beg your pardon. Aston for Brown, and Gavin Brown has options to his left-hand side. He's gone himself.
Surely they'll opt for the kick now. They've got to.
Well, Aston finds Peter Reilly, and that drop goal is given. Great thinking there from Peter Reilly. Doubles the Sheffield lead. Well, not one of the players you most associate in this Sheffield team with a drop goal, but great thinking there, Phil.
Yeah, I don't really think it changes the game that much, though. They're already in front marginally, and if Sheffield score a try, then if Keighley score a try, then they'll be in front. I think maybe the bump to the corner or the grubber for a repeated set of possession, just to apply the pressure down there. I'm not a big fan of a drop goal with a 1-point lead. It's not changed things that much.
Sheffield, though, get the ball back. Gavin Brown finds O'Reilly. O'Reilly through 2 tackles, and great run this from Tom O'Reilly, already on the score sheet, of course, this afternoon. He's having a big game, the Papua New Guinean. This now, Greg Hurst. Richard Merville, all round his shoulders. Now, Richard Stringer. Again, they're just content to drive this ball upfield, get the field position. It's what they've been That's been the tactics all season. Now Goddard. And we'll play it for Weller. Weller this time finds Simon Tillier.
Losing his cool there, Paul Ashton just had a little bit of a dig there, but good work from the referee. He knew that Sheffield had the advantage.
Mark Ashton found Tony Weller on that side. And
offside is given against Sheffield Eagles.
So Keighley breathe again. It was looking difficult for them as Sheffield got into some good field position and threatened there, Phil, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. That was a worrying set of 6. They just had to handle what came at them there. We're glad that there was a penalty offside, and Sinfield just finds a gap. See players on both sides now trying to go for that big hit, trying to force the ball out in the tackle. Could be a turning point early in the tackle count if you can force an error now.
Ekis, beg your pardon, Merville it is for Keighley Cougars.
Well, 2 penalties in a row is always a big advantage to any side in rugby league here now. It should certainly put them into a good attacking position.
But he guaranteed at least 50 or 60 metres forward, and he's had a fine game as Richard Goddard, but that is a silly penalty to give away.
Well, it was his drop goal that won the Challenge Cup meeting between these two, 25 points to 24 back in February. But Keighley will be more than happy with his contribution there. This Richard Merville.
Again, they need some place to go in close support.
Hoyle, Firth, Noah Stevenson finds Rushforth instead, isn't it? Almost away there, good tackle from Peter Reilly. Now Hoyle again, Ramshaw slides the kick along looking for Ashton, and Paul Ashton's so close there. Oh, great work there from Greg Hurst.
Well, that was unbelievable by the winger. Beautiful dink through. Was he impeded? But look at this.
Well, the ball just broke to the right, didn't it, there, as Ashton was going for it in favour of
why on earth would he go for that? If it had missed the ball completely, it would have been Christmas early, and he knows it. But all he had to do was run over the England. An amazing piece of football from Greg Hurst.
The dropout finds the boot of Matt Firth. Now Stevenson. Good tackle coming in from Tillier. Stevenson, good meters there. Now Hoyle. Always looking to examine this defensive line, Simeon Hoyle. Ashton for Firth. Now Ramshaw. Back on the inside is Matt Foster. And Foster takes 3 of them to bring him down. Andy Pointer there, 2 of the leading fullbacks in National League 2, one-on-one there. Now Firth thought about the pass, took the option himself. That's the 4th tackle for Keighley Cougars. Drop goal possibly from Ashton. Well, he thought about it, and he's gone for a kick looking for Tomlinson.
Oh, he's lost it.
Tomlinson so close there, and O'Reilly gets the ball behind.
Well, they've given a goal line dropout, but I thought it came forward from Tomlinson.
They certainly made the contact first, I'm with you. But they are running the tightrope, aren't they? Good tactics from Keighley. They are applying that pressure. Still plenty of time to go, and they know it.
It was Hurst who went up with Tomlinson to start with, and really Tom O'Reilly, I beg your pardon, tidied up. Drop out again finds Stevenson, taking on Peter Reilly, and good tackle in the end from Wayne Flynn.
If you're looking at a Keighley player that perhaps can just turn the tide, it's got to be the hooker, Simeon Hoyle. He's had a big game there. He is with the football now.
Hoyle finds Merville.
Did well to hold on to it. Now then, here's the chance wide on the right.
Last tackle for Keighley Cougars. Hoyle finds Ashton. Ashton back inside. Patterson it is. Can he offload? 4th tackle. And that will be the last now for Keighley Cougars. Ashton back for Matt Firth. Puts a kick in. It's fumbled. Oh, could this be 6 more for Keighley Cougars? He's given it. So a 3rd set of 6 for Sheffield Eagles to withstand. Jason Ramshaw trying to go back in half-back. So close there, Jason Ramshaw. On the bounce, it finds Simeon Hoyle. Simon Tillier is there for Sheffield. Firth finds Jason Ramshaw throws the dummy. The ball surely gone backwards, and Firth sees the space over there. This is a great chance for Keighley. It's going to be Tomlinson. Can he get over? Oh, brilliant set defence there from Sheffield.
Unbelievable defence. Can they hold on here?
Merber will play it 3 metres short. Back for Ramshaw. Loose pass from Ramshaw on the bounce, finds Stevenson, but there's men on this side, and it's Oliver Wilkes. Long pass, this time for Andy Robinson. Andy Robinson for the corner!
He'll go to the screen for this one.
And this one on. Andy Robinson it was. And this could be a crucial decision.
No try, great defence here. I think his feet are over the line before he puts the ball down.
He's okay there, and he's okay there, and that is try time. Oh, look at the...
Left foot, Steve-O. Left foot's on the line for me.
Is it?
It slides onto it. It
over
slides.
away. We'll see it clearly from this angle.
Oh.
Robinson's foot, watch it. Does it hit? Yes. But does he get the ball down before it hits? Boy, this is a split-second reaction. You know, I think this is going to be given. I think that his heel is just off the ground. Or is it? Oh, dearie me.
I suppose the benefit of the dirt has to go to the attacking side.
Well, not always. We've often said that, Clarkey, but it's not been the case. And I think they will disallow this. I think you picked it up straight away, Clarkey.
The more I watch it, the more I change my mind.
Yeah, well, that's what video replays are all about. Does his leg go over the top of Weller's thigh? That's what they want to try to find out. There's the left leg going underneath his right. There is... I can't really see it there. I think they're going to give this. I'm going to go for TRY. Because I think his left leg goes over onto Tony Weller's thigh. It's close, isn't it? Oh. Toss a coin.
Well, it's the leg, isn't it, on the left-hand side that we thought the other one is in the air. That's okay.
Here's the decision. A crucial decision, and it's a try for Andy Robinson and for the Keighley Cougars. A season's work going into that decision, and they retake the lead here at the Halton Stadium. Despair for the Sheffield contingent and this witness crowd, but joy for Andy Robinson. Well, he scored a crucial try to seal the final eliminator at Chorley 7 days ago, and now Andy Robinson with another massive contribution here.
In many ways, Bennett deserves a try, never mind. There's great skill here to get the ball from one side of the field to the other. So Hoyle onto Wilkes, eventually gets the ball to him, and he does remarkably well to switch the ball quickly and put it down in the corner. Gary Mobley, the coach, can't even watch the decision. He's hugged by his teammates, his players, to tell him that, hey, it's been awarded our way, and now he has a nervous few minutes ahead of him.
Well, Gary Mobley's first game in charge for Keighley was at 60-0 loss at Sheffield. So no wonder he couldn't look for a decision like that, as the kick comes in from the touchline. Well, Ashton not successful on that occasion, but Keighley retake the lead, 13 points to 11. And, well, it could be anybody's game, Phil.
Well, this season, this division has been a very closely contested one, and we're not surprised now that there's only 2 points in this game with just over 5 minutes remaining. Short kick-off.
Can Sheffield get possession back? Well, it's been spilled by Keighley, and Stringer picks up for Sheffield. 5 minutes to go, as you see. Now it's Howison for the Eagles. Centre field. Aston finds Reilly. And Reilly away for Wayne Flynn.
Keighley down to 12, the fullback Matt Foster receiving treatment, and he's in a bad way. They're calling for the stretcher.
Sheffield, though, continue to attack. Andy Raleigh. Richard Merble is there, though, for Keighley, alongside Stevenson, who's got through a ton of work this afternoon. Now Aston, Gavin Brown. Back on the inside is Richard Goddard. Goddard manages to offload as well for Peter Reilly. And really a looping pass to this side, and it's Tony Weller, and Weller trying to use his strength to get to the line. Well, so close there, Tony Weller, so close Sheffield to hitting back.
He's given
And then Tony Weller knocks on.
What about that Keighley effort in defence? Superb. I mean, Weller beat 3 or 4 men before eventually more and more Cougars just came over until they engulfed him close to the line. He's getting up trying to play the ball, and the referee says he's dropped it.
I think you'll find that David Foster had the arm in there. James Rushforth was pushing over the top.
Well, although Sheffield won both the National League 2 clashes between these two, there was only a point in it when they beat Keighley in the Challenge Cup. There's only 2 points in it this afternoon. And we've got 3.5 breathless minutes to go. It's Tomlinson for Keighley.
Big question, Ben. Will the Cougars just tie it up? Will they just throw away any type of football, one out all the way through?
They've got to make sure that they get enough distance here in these next couple of runs. They don't want to be kicking from near their own try line and Pointer picking the ball inside the Keighley half.
This will be Stevenson to try and crash his way out of trouble. He's done that. Great run from Stevenson. He's surely held down in back play as he looked for support. I think it was Simeon Hoyle trying to support on his inside there.
And the referee's seen it, Ben. Mitchell Stringer did interfere with Simeon Hoyle to prevent him getting up there in support.
Yeah. Okay.
But what a great run by the prop forward. That for me, as soon as he made the open space, he didn't want to risk passing it. Bill Stevenson did exactly the right thing. Certainly holding back. This will be a penalty to the Cougars. Great run though from a prop forward. He didn't want to pass. He knew that whilst he had the ball in his hand, the clock was ticking down.
All right, no retaliation. First offence, no holding back.
The penalty goes against Mitchell Stringer. A relieving penalty for Keighley, and more importantly, as the clock kicks down, enables them to retain possession.
Well, you think with 2 minutes left, if Keighley can hang on to it, that'll be 1 minute. They're probably going to get one more chance at Sheffield to win this match, but they're probably more than likely going to have to run 70 or 80 metres if they do want to win the game.
This is Stevenson. Howie had the fuel left to make that run a few moments ago after all the tackling that he's done in this game. This is Oliver Wilkes. Nothing too fancy from Keighley Cougars now. Just want to take the ball toward this Sheffield line. Richard Merville, the latest to do just that.
Ashton will go for a drop goal here, I reckon.
Goes back for Firth instead. He's got Ramshaw to his left. Just loses his footing there. Jason Ramshaw. And it's played for Oliver Wilkes.
They're setting up for the one. They know that'll eat up the clock as well.
This is the last tackle. We've got less than a minute left. It's come out for Matty Firth. He's not going to go for a 1 point. He's going to drift a kick in. And that's almost as good because Nick Turnbull is held behind his own line, and this will be 6 more.
They've got to go for a short Cougars. They've got to go for a short kick here.
They've got to try to make it bounce into touch. Oh, they've gone for a high one.
Well, clever thinking, quickly taken as well, but Patterson could profit. It was Craig Brown who got to him. Keighley so close to that line.
Don't run the risk of an intercept. Just stick it up your jumper.
Tomlinson 5 metres short. And it's here again from acting half-back, trying to muscle his way over.
I think they can hear you, Steve-O. We've got an earpiece, they know. Just pick it up and dive over. The clock ticks down.
This is going to be Simeon Hoyle to try and crown it for Keighley. He's given the 5th tackle, but there is the hooter. Gary Morby and Keighley Cougars are champions of National League 2. Well, they've done it the hard way. They've come from 3rd position. They've beaten Hunslet, they've beaten Barrow, they've beaten Chorley to be here, and now they overturn the minor premiers, the Sheffield Eagles. No fairy tale ending for Mark Aston. The fairy tale instead belongs to Jason Ramshaw. And the Sheffield players can't believe it.
Well, what a very, very good game of rugby league to finish off National League 2. And they're just pausing under the goalposts at the moment. That's a superb game, thoroughly enjoyed. You've got to feel that both sides have entertained us here in a thrilling match over 80 minutes. And Keighley just about deserved to win the game.
Well, I mentioned that Sheffield knocked Keighley out of the Challenge Cup. by the 1 point. This is sweet revenge for Gary Morby's side. There's David Foster. Well, already scored in one Academy Grand Final and victorious today. Keighley supporters absolutely ecstatic as well. They made the trip over here to witness. Many judges thought that it was Sheffield who would take the title after they won the minor premiership. Still a chance, of course, for Sheffield to go up to National League One. They face a playoff against the Batley of National League One on the 12th of October, so still not the season over for them. But it's Max Tomlinson's day, it's Keighley Cougars' day, and they have won here at the Holton Stadium by 13 points to 11, and Rod Studd is with the victorious coach Gary Morby.
Gary, very, very well done. Keighley Cougars in National League Division 1.
Yeah, we've worked hard this season, worked very, very hard, came here as underdogs today, but we've had a great week and we felt very, very confident. Very tight game, I know, but, you know, we've done the business today. I'm really proud of the guys.
Just tell me how you felt when that video refereeing decision seemed to go on for about 10 minutes and you knew the whole game was on that one decision.
I clearly felt that he would have tried because you could see his legs in the air, so it was just making me wonder a little bit. He was deliberating so long. But so much at stake, he's got to get it right. But I felt confident, but to be honest, I turned my back and I didn't watch the thing come up on the big screen.
You had the game won, you lost it again, you won it again, I mean, but finally the result is what you really wanted, get Keighley back in the first division.
Yeah, loads of character, want it. You know, we've got a great bunch of guys, a lot of young guys that have worked really hard all season. I'm pleased for everybody, the supporters, the chairman, everybody. 2 years ago we were in liquidation, now we've won a grand final. I'm over the moon, and we worked the hard way. It's not been a checkbook victory, it's just been hard graft.
And as you said, about 10 years ago, Keighley were nearly in Super League. 2 years ago, you were almost bankrupt. It's been a long road back and a hard road back for Keighley.
Yeah, long hard work, you know, but just sheer determination, sleeves up, backs to the wall, you know, Yorkshire grafters, it's spirit, as I say, and I'm just highly delighted.
Well done, Gary, enjoy it tonight.
Thank you, cheers.
Right.
Congratulations to Gary Morby and all of the Keighley Cougars squad, backroom staff. They will enjoy their moment here. It's not all up for the Sheffield Eagles. They will play Batley next weekend. Batley finishing second bottom of the National League One, and this is the trophy that Keighley have won. But Sheffield now will be concentrating on next week, and another bite at the cherry for them to go up as the league leaders of National League 2. You have to feel sorry for Mark Aston and his team, but the Keighley Cougars are the champions of National League 2 2003. Many, many congratulations to them. And you know, Peter Rowe and Neil Kelly are here in the studio with me watching these scenes. Neil, when we think back to the Old Trafford divisional premierships that we used to have in the old days, this equivalent match, the second string match, if you like, always produced high drama, and they've done it again today.
Yeah, it never fails to entertain, and all credit to both sides. Obviously, we're very pleased for Keighley winning the competition, but credit to both sides. And yeah, you know, I think the Premiership, as it used to be, lost a little bit when this game was taken away from it. And you know, there's maybe an argument for it going into the Old Trafford Grand Final, you know, forgive the politics and everything.
Alex Ferguson would have a heart attack,
yeah,
I think.
But you know, all credit, you know, both sets of supporters have come and made a great atmosphere, and both sets of teams have produced a great game.
Well, exactly, Peter. You know, the stadium has filled from 1 o'clock onwards. Keighley have, I mean, Sheffield have come with plenty of supporters as well, but Keighley, they've got an army here with them, and it's a great day for them.
Well, you know, I've championed Keighley's cause over the years. It's a rugby league town. It's in the middle of nowhere, basically. You don't go much further till it's all the Yorkshire Dales and the Greenfields, but they're surrounded by people like Leeds United and Manchester United, Burnley, Bradford City, all these sort of teams. But people in Keighley want rugby league, and you know, this is a fantastic day for the club, fantastic day for the town, and hopefully nobody can stand in the way now. They can kick on and go forward.
Well, they are now one season away, in theory, from a place in the Super League, and when you think it is a fairy tale. They were extinct virtually, weren't they? They were in receivership.
Yeah, they were in the wilderness. They were in the CVA, and it looked at one stage as though they were going to go under. They had to sell the ground some years ago to buy the debts off. But the back, Keighley are back, and you know, although I have nothing to do with the club anymore, I'm very, very pleased for them. I've got to say that I am absolutely delighted for them.
Well, Mark Aston, somewhat gingerly and groggily, comes up the steps to receive his loser's medal. And you have to feel sorry for Mark Aston, Neil.
Yeah, he's got to feel sorry for him. See him there at the end. He knows they've got a chance to get back into National League One next week against Batley, and he's even doing his captain coach's job at the end there, rallying the troops, sort of doing the right talk. But you know, he'll be gutted inside.
He will be.
It's disappointing for him.
Let's just reiterate, Sheffield Eagles will play Batley at Batley next week, because Batley finished second bottom of the National League One. It's a playoff. It's a playoff now between Batley and Sheffield Eagles, either for survival for Batley next year in National League One, or Sheffield to go up with the Keighley Cougars.
Yeah, but I think both sides recognise today that this is the best opportunity to get back into National League One, and obviously it's great to pick up a bit of silverware. And you know, as Peter was saying about Keighley, they've had to come through some very adverse situations. And how good must the people feel that stuck by the club and have stayed with the club through all those thin times? You know, people like Phil Stevenson, Jason Ramshaw, they've worked really hard over a lot of years, and a lot of people behind the scenes. It must be a special day for those people.
Well, here they come. They are now making their way up, the victorious Keighley Cougars, to receive the trophy. And we can tell you actually that Simeon Hoyle, I think, has been named as the man of the match.
Simeon Hoyle, yes, and he's in my side to play New Zealand in a few weeks.
And that's James Rushford.
Yeah, he's been around a long time, and he deserves it. He's a lad who'll never be a Super League player, but he's a wholehearted for keeper, and that's what it's all about at this level of it.
Indeed so. It's a marvellous moment, and this is why the playoffs are so successful at all levels.
Yeah, and it'd be wrong to look at a game like this and say and talk about the knock-ons or the forward passes or any headers. They occur in all games. As Peter just said, some players here will never play in Super League, but this is the pinnacle of their careers, and should never take anything away from it, and allow them to enjoy the day.
Absolutely. I think the standard, you know, has surprised a lot of people, because the balls were clean and quick. The fitness of the players was called into question, particularly the Cougars. They were under the cosh for so long. They defended like heroes.
Yeah, well, when Tom O'Reilly scored midway through that second half, I actually felt Sheffield looked the favourites at that point. So to have the team spirit and the camaraderie to pull yourself back from that point and go on and win the game as Keighley have done, you've got to admire that spirit.
You have to feel sorry for Sheffield, but they can come again. They can come next week. This is a wonderful moment for the Keighley Cougars. Denied their place in Super League, then they hit financial trouble. They were almost sunk a couple of years ago, and Gary Morby deserves so much credit for bringing this team to this stage. He's battled away, Peter.
Yeah, he played at Leeds a long time, did Gary, and he had to finish with an injury. Then we came back to Keighley to play. Then, believe it or not, he coached an amateur side in Keighley for about 10 years, and that's doing it tough. Coaching lads that play for nothing, getting them to train for 10 years just shows what the man's made of. And he was the right man for the job at Keighley, and hard work as it was at the end of the day. And you know, now we'll be the happiest man in the world for about a week, I would have thought.
Well, you wouldn't argue with him, would you?
Oh no, he's been around with Gary. I certainly wouldn't argue with him, that's for sure.
But if you look at the way the team have played, I think it deserves a lot of credit. And Paul Moses, who's been assisting him at Keighley, and he's another lad Keighley through and through. And look at the way the team's played. They deserve a lot of credit, because they're very well organised and have great shape and executed very well at times.
Well, this match, you know, has thrown the gauntlet down now, hasn't it, for Lee and Salford, who will follow this for the place in Super League next year. If it's half as good as what we've seen here, we're in for a treat over on Sky Sports 2 from 4.
Certainly are, and like you just said, Eddie, if it can match this particularly we just watched for the last 80 minutes, it will be a great game. And the thing that you always get at this level is the players sort of know the place in life, and they know that not too many of these occasions will come around. So they give what you can see a wholehearted performance. It's not as physically demanding as Super League, it's not as quick, but the same demands are required in terms of effort and commitment. And you'll see really at this level, as we have done just now, and as we're going to do, the lads who want to be identified as winners. And we've seen today Keighley are winners.
Keighley are the winners, but I think we should hear from the losers. Rod Studd is now talking with Mark Aston.
Mark, that must be really tough for you to take. You've topped the season's table and yet come so close to promotion and just missed out on this occasion.
Yeah, obviously, you know, any final, to lose any final gives you, you know, knocks you off your duck a little bit, but I think how the way we lost it is even more disappointing. I'd like to see the video again. I'm not using excuses. Possibly on the day we got beat by a better team, but you know, it's a learning curve for the players. We've got a young squad here, and if we keep them together, you know, they've got to take the knocks, and it's how you come back. And you know, we've got to go round again next week, and we've got to go to Batley and win the game.
And as you say, a very, very contentious decision. I mean, you can look at it 10 times over, but it's so tough for the referee to call, video referee to call.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I mean, it's tough to take definitely that we lost the game on that incident, but I'm not convinced we lost it on that incident. There were a lot of other areas in the game where we were a bit, you know, a non-entity, and we've got to look at that video and we've got to say why. Probably, you know, the pressure of the game probably got to some of the players.
But you do get another chance. You do get to play Batley, so you can still get promoted. But you've got to pick the lads up now from this, obviously.
That's it. I mean, they're going to be gutted. I'm gutted. You know, and rightly so. What we've got to do is, you know, we'll regroup in the changing rooms now. We'll have a look at ourselves tonight, and we'll come back tomorrow and we'll come back stronger.
There'll be one more game for Mark Aston's swan song now, though, won't there?
It sounds like it, doesn't it?
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.
Well, he speaks well, doesn't he, Mark Aston? And he is seething is not the right word. He is concerned about the video referee's decision that awarded the try in that second half. Steve-O has joined us here in the studio now. He was watching up there on the gantry. Obviously, it was a massive, massive decision from Jerry Kershaw. But Steve-O, our feeling in the studio was that Jerry Kershaw got it right.
Yeah, he certainly got it right on that occasion, and I thought the leg that just came over, it was certainly on the thigh of his opposite winger, and he took a lot of time over it. I think Jerry will be thinking, you know, not another grand final. It's a lot of pressure. You talk about the pressure out there on the referee and, of course, the players and the coaches. But it's a lot of pressure in that van as well to make the decision. I think he got it right. I think there were 3 decisions that he had to do in this game. He's got every one of them 100%, and that's the reason why we bring it there, because he's got it right.
Yes, I know that some coaches in the Super League, Neil, think if you watch the video referee long enough, he can actually find enough excuses to disallow the try. But he looked at that long enough and found enough excuses to award Andy Robinson the try.
Yeah, and that's what it's there for. It's there to decide whether it's a bona fide try or not. And I agree. I think Judy's come up with the right decision there. There's a lot of emotion involved with Mark, and I think Peter and myself have both coached and probably experienced decisions go for and against us. And the emotion can sometimes colour your comments, and I'm sure he'll watch it and probably think, you know, deep down it is a try, and put it to one side and focus on what they need to do next week. But they have to take when they happen. It's sort of ironic that the one instrument that's not available in National League 2 throughout the whole of the season is the video referee, and it's been instrumental in who's actually won the game. So that's only a slight irony in it, but you know, overall it is a good try and the right decision.
I think Mark Aston got it spot on, and mainly in the fact that he didn't lose it there, because when Tom O'Reilly scored that try, they started to build on confidence. Aston came off from the bench just to control things, run things from dummy half, but they forgot one thing: their discipline. They gave away far too many penalties in a period of 15 minutes, which allowed the Cougars to get off the floor, and that was so important. And when they had a sniff of it, they just went for broke. I mean, there was one particular period where the Cougars just threw the ball about with gay abandon. How on earth it didn't go into touch? It was just like basketball at one point. And then the one move that they switched the ball and swung it across the three-quarter line, they only had one of those in the second half, but it was sufficient. And Mr. Robinson, boy,
well,
he'll remember that for a long, long time.
2 little words have come into the rugby league vocabulary in this country since 1998. Grand final. And that really says it all, doesn't it? That was a grand final.
A grand occasion, Eddie, and a win for rugby league, not just for Keighley. And Sheffield would be pretty sore about it, questioning the video official. But they played their part in a great grand final. Somebody has to win, somebody has to lose ultimately. And Sheffield, let's not take it away from them. They've had a great domestic season. They've been up there with the rest, and they've lost on the day. That's what happened. But they have at least the bonus of going to Batley next week and trying to put things right again.
Let's hear from the man of the match, the Keighley hooker, Simeon Hoyle. He's with Rod.
Simeon, well played. Just sum up what that means to Keighley Cougars.
Well, it means everything. The players, the supporters, coaching staff, everybody had it. It was fantastic. We had a fantastic year. We've dug in for everything, and we got a result today.
All to come down to that one big decision. How did you see that try?
We're going to try all the way, I'm going to say that. We'll try all the way, but we rolled the sleeves up, we got stuck in, they come at us, and heads went down for a bit, but like we have done all year, like you can say, we're just a team that keeps fighting. We did that again, we got the result. We're awesome.
It's been a tremendous season from a couple of years ago when Keighley almost went out of business. It's been a fantastic fight back by the whole club, hasn't it?
Yeah, like Gary and Mosley just turned this club around, and we've not had the money, but like you said, they've just told us everyone to dig in and work hard at training like we have done. You can come up with stuff like this, it's just like a drink on two for the club and the fans and everything. And I just can just say I like to see the lads in the club. Thanks a lot.
Well, I think you might see you later on, all you lads in the club, because it's going to be a big day for Keighley. They have won the National League 2 Grand Final by 13 points to 11. They finished third after the weekly rounds. Sheffield were the minor premiers. They finished top. But Keighley Cougars are the champions of National League 2 2003. Sheffield will battle for a place in National League 1 next week when they travel to Batley. Last match for Mark Aston. Well done, the Keighley Cougars. And we'll react further to it when we return.
Yes, I recognise the symptoms. Very common this time of year. You have CWS. CWS? What's that? Cricket withdrawal syndrome. Fortunately, help is at hand. Sky Sports has live coverage of all England's winter tours. Here, take this. You'll be fine. How do you know all this? I'm a doctor. I know these things. So, how's that?
This winter, live and exclusive on Sky Sports, follow England in Bangladesh, Sri Lanka and the West Indies. And avoid CWS.
Next!
Chihuahua.
Chihuahua.
Chihuahua. Chihuahua.
You're going to love this. The Great British Roast. This is a special bit of beef, been matured for 21 days. Makes it extra tender, extra juicy. I mean, look at the marbling in that. To mix the vegetables up, even you can do that, mate. Meat on top helps your uncle.
New from the Taste the Difference range at Sainsbury's, 21-day matured beef. It tastes so good, you want to tell everyone.
You got to taste that. Best bit of beef I've had in ages. Tell you what, mate, a few more babysitting sessions, and you could be nearly as good. Charming.
This advert could save your life. A properly fitted windscreen accounts for up to 30% of your car's structural strength. At Autoglass, we replace your windscreen knowing it could save your life if your car rolls. Autoglass, we fit safety as standard.
Get down to the corner shop, come on, let's hurry. If you do, then you could win a Chinese or a curry. Look out for the vouchers, then no special packs or walkers.
There are 17 million meals to be won.
Stay cool and dry with Nivea deodorant for man.
The best range of weapons in beat-em-up history. Soul Calibur 2.
The Greyhound runs at 40 miles an hour and lives for 12 years. The pronghorn antelope runs at 60 miles an hour, but lives for a mere 11 years. The cheetah, fastest animal on earth, lives just 10 years. Now consider the giant tortoise. He toddles along a bit. He has a little break, walks a bit more. He has another little break. He travels at approximately 0 miles an hour, but lives for 200 years.
Have lots of little breaks with new Kit Kat cubes.
Well, the players of Sheffield and Keighley have served up a treat. They have now exited the stage at the Halton Stadium after Keighley's victory. And it's now the players of Salford and Lee who are going through their pre-match routines in readiness for the final of the National League One, which will be following us here. And we will be bringing that to you, by the way, live over on Sky Sports 2. Steve-O has rejoined us, as you heard, just before the break here in the studio. That was a great grand final, Steve-O, as we've already said.
Unbelievable. I mean, it's a great atmosphere. Everyone's in it. It's great for Keighley. I really do appreciate that, what they've done, the fans who've come along today. But it was an enthralling game. I thought that both sides played wonderful football. But when Gavin Brown put Tom O'Reilly in for this try, they were so confident, Sheffield. And I'd posed the question at half-time, could Keighley hang on? This is their 4th game on the trot. The little drop goal there from Peter Riley, and there again you just thought to yourself, well, will the Cougars just fall apart? But they didn't. Indisciplined by Sheffield, allowed them field position, and as I mentioned, the one and only time that it's gone through about 4 or 5 pairs of hands, and Andy Robinson scores a try. We had to go frame by frame to find out, but there was little doubt in my mind and Jerry Kershaw's mind that the left leg, instead of hitting the whitewash, hit the winger's thigh, and that was sufficient. He'll be living on that for a long, long time.
They will. I just wonder, though, Peter, whether you think Keighley now will be able to survive in National League One?
Well, again, it's up a level, up a grade, and no better way than to try and encourage the chairman to bring in more players in his back by winning a trophy. And Gary now's got some bullets in his armour to be able to say, well, listen, if we want to survive again and don't do what Dewsbury did, who had a terrible season really on the back of a similar success last year, they've got to bring 1 or 2 new players in, and that's what the game's about. It's always been the same. You need to, if you go up a level, you need to bring the players in just to add on to the ones that are already there.
Build on the success that that your success has brought you. Actually, we're